First, you get them likes up, family. Get them likes as you come in. Welcome to King Talk. Get them likes up, family, as you come in. Welcome to King Talk. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Wave. I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat foot with the bare face and a slick tongue. That's what she say. She look good. She a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back. She bring that my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I padded my stats. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his face, you ask for it. Niggas cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show needed passport, cause the beat bounced to the cap torn. Feel like I live it fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Fuck how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did drop up a couple figures. Feel like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill, the space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. With everything I say, turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. With everything I'm saying, turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face, as I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Thoughts and imagination. She only want me when she fake. She quick to tell me I'm a fake. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, so they never slowing me down. Heart rate, dropping like you don't sleep well. How you switch up, you always help me down. Wonder why I turn into a cold of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's malice. Squad with me, God, cut us from the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. But everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. But everything I'm saying turn into the real thing.
Let's get them likes up, family. It's almost go time. You subscribe to the channel. Welcome to King Talk. Share our support. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Going on, family? Introduce the crew. We got Mr. Let Go. We got Rilla, Trill, King Rio, Ricky, Humble Dad. With myself, I'm Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
I'm good. What's up with y'all?
Oh, can't complain. What's today, Tuesday? Damn, this
week
going
all day, Tuesday, all day today.
I'm trying to fast forward to Friday, man. It's good to see you, brothers. Per usual, Humble Dad, welcome. I see you changed the name. I saw Dr. HD. Now I see. Oh, I see you over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to being humble, just a little bit. just a little bit.
Yeah, after the light flex, like watch me walk this stage real quick, gentlemen.
Yeah, see, bro, trying to shine. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, man, again, bro. Congrats again, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you seen my post in the group. I gotta ask the other gentlemen on the panel, especially for those of y'all that got bigger platforms, man. Are y'all getting recognized in y'all city yet? Like when y'all out and about just doing normal stuff, people running down on trail, they running down on trail. Let Go, they see celebrities in it. They run down on you, Let Go?
Yeah, they do. Like, cause I just be like, y'all see people all the time. Like, y'all leave me alone. But yeah, it happens.
Crazy, man.
This I would leave me alone.
No, man, you just be wanting to do stuff, and I'm not nobody's going to come up and say, I want to take a picture with you, but they be like, yo, it's Let Go. Yo, and then you kind of like get away from what you were concentrating on doing, whatever it is you're doing. You're ordering food or you're in the mall. Next thing you know, somebody want to come up, so it's dope, but it does kind of like get in the way of depending on what you're actually doing that day.
Okay.
Yeah. Nah, that junk crazy, man. Like I've been out in the city, quite a few times, and I'm just minding my business. Today I was out in the south suburbs. I jumped out of my car going to the store, and dude was like, "Hey, man, you be on that show, don't you?" I was like, "What show?" He said, "Hey, man, you Chicago, really, ain't you?" I said, "Most days, man. Who is you?" So I had to say something to JR about that, man. Like I'll never get used to it, but it's gratifying to know that the movement is real and the people, rocking with the campaign. So
it's almost scary though, because somebody walking up to you and you like, okay, so how did I not see this dude walk up? Yo, hey, and you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you are aware of your environment and you think you are aware of your environment until somebody randomly walks up to you and they get into your circle of just your little area and you're like, whoa, okay. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, damn. So yeah, it'd be scary a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Trying to figure out the fuck when damn sound looks so fuzzy for.
I'm not as popular as you guys, but at my church, there are several people that watch the show. And I didn't know that. And then they came up to me, "Hey, I seen you on." I was like, I mean, you're really excited about that, but I appreciate you watching. So, and then one guy I never knew, right? I've never known this guy before. And he just walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, you Humble Dad, right? I didn't know we went to the same church." You know what I'm saying? So I've got that a few times.
Damn, so Humble Dad famous, Mr. Let Go famous, Rilla famous. Must be nice, man. Must be nice. You guys got some good stories to tell.
Really, the dude that put it all together.
No, JR be incognito. He be incognito.
Yeah, I don't say nothing, man. I go over with the the whole shield. I got a black shield that just like put that on and just like a veil. I just go out in public like that with a black cape on. So I usually go out as a superhero, but that's a whole nother story. Like a Thundercat. That's what they call me, the Black Thundercat. Yeah. That's probably before your time, Humble Dad. You remember Thundercats?
I grew up.
You remember
that? Homie.
I went outside after Thundercats went off at 4:00 every day.
My camera's fucking tripping or something. Is it just me?
Right before that, I think it was
portrait mode on. It was like it was Thundercats and then Silverhawks came. That's what the lick was. It was Thundercat, Silverhawks. In Chicago, you would catch. You had to rush home to get Transformers. Then there would be He-Man,
Voltron.
Yep, Voltron.
G.I.
We used to have to use the VCR to get that Voltron because you know what I'm saying. It came on at 2:30. You were still at Bremont by the time Voltron came on. You know what I'm saying? So you had to record that Voltron on the same tape, and y'all know how once you get past 10 recordings on a tape, it's just a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It was bad. You know what I'm saying?
G.I. Joe.
No, I didn't. Man, G.I. Joe, I couldn't do it, bro.
Y'all don't know about Robotech. Y'all,
I do, bro. The Macross saga. Suck
hey,
about, bro.
Okay.
Come on, man.
GoBot. You don't know nothing about GoBots or Mass then.
GoBots was horrible, bro.
GoBots was
trash. Rio is like, what is this?
GoBots was trash. I gave him a chance. I was like, no. But in real talk, though, G.I. Joe was a real saga, though. I think that was the only saga out of all the cartoons that literally, like, it was a whole saga with G.I. Joe.
The branding and the marketing. So, like, in the 80s, they used to introduce new G.I. Joe toys every year that you had to collect.
It wasn't bigger than Transformers, though.
No. It didn't get as big, but the audience for that was like, because Transformers, once you get Optimus Prime, Starscream, Megatron, you Gucci until the movie came out.
Yeah, you know how many G.I. Joe it was? You got you're gonna have like 4 of your favorite cars and then 4 of your favorite jets. You don't need all the jets, they all
grown men talking about toys.
Hey man, let me tell you something.
Kids, like
I know it's just funny. That's all. I think
because Humble Dad gonna sneak one in. Let me tell you something. I wish I held on to them G.I. Joes unboxed.
I wish I wish I would have held on to the Constructicons,
bro.
Put them together and make the robot. If I would have kept that to this day, my God,
Soundwave, bro.
Soundwave. Oh my God,
Soundwave
were the days.
Was Soundwave the one that was like the
cassette player?
Yeah. It was a radio.
Yeah.
He was like the coolest one.
That's when Transformers was still made out of metal. Y'all remember that? Before they went plastic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because the Constructicons was plastic, but the cars like Jazz and them, they were like straight metal. I remember that.
All right, y'all. I think we're losing trail over there, man. This is before it's time. He's like, what y'all talking about?
Y'all up here speaking Chinese up here, man.
He said Thundercats and Voltron. Before we get the show started, let's get the likes up. Also, make sure we subscribe to the channel. We do have a couple things that came through. Marquise Keys became a member, so shout out to you, sir, for becoming a member. Tap the accountability partner $2. Say something else about GoBot Quit Playing.
Wow.
Then we had
horrible.
No More Mr. Ice Guy, $5. Why do women think trauma is an excuse?
Damn, Daniel. Starting off early.
That's a good question. It's well, I ain't gonna answer it, but yeah, that's a good question. Y'all want to talk about it?
Okay, yeah, we'll get to it. I'm gonna keep this one started and we'll bring it up once we get there. So I appreciate the super chats that has came through thus far. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and shout out to Tej Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men. Make sure you guys click that link that's in the description. You get 30% off along with a free gift. Shout out to Tej Hanley. So make sure you guys feel the Tej. Let's go ahead and move on right on to our first topic of the night. Let me see. We got Green Gang in there. See Ricky Williams in the chat. Crew Seasons in the chat. Smooth, I see you, brother. She Critique is in the house. Elephant, I see you. Say Tom and Jerry. Yeah, that was a classic. That's before Trio's time, too. Sugar Curl Salon. Shout out to her. See you in the chat. Accountability partner, you super chatter. You also in the chat as well. Morning to Life. All the Green Gang. I can't acknowledge everybody, but periodically I am going to shout you guys out. I will be dropping the link, and I'll bring people up for 5 minutes or so just to kind of chime in on some topics. I'm going to do something a little different. I know I mentioned that before on the previous show, and I forgot to do it. But I'm gonna make sure once I get the first topic going, I'll drop it. So if you want to come in and chime in, come in for about 5 minutes, but no, you're not gonna stay the whole entire time because I do want to kind of rotate people in and out. So I'll bring you up, you'll chime in if you got something to say on the topic, and then I'm gonna drop you off. And if you keep on talking, when you hear me say, yeah, okay, that means you've been talking too long. So you got to give the panel grace, because sometimes when you talk too long, everybody start wondering. They're not paying attention. People have short attention spans, especially at this time of the night. So just giving you guys that disclaimer on the front end, because on the back end, I don't want you to be embarrassed. With that being said, I want to shout out to Humble Dad, because he sent this to me in the clutch. And I'm like, let me go ahead and bring this up. So I appreciate that, sir. Let me go ahead and cue this video up. I'm all off today. It's too early. I think they changed it to present now. I think that's what throws me off instead of share. So where is that at? Here we go.
As a woman, you will get disrespected to your face because his financial status says I can. So my thing is, if you coming home to me at night and only me, baby, I'll take you broke.
Shit.
I'll take you broke. Because I've been broke in by millionaires. Come on now, what's the
Title of this episode is I'll Take You Broke.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Hey,
I can't.
Hey, I was talking about this early on the live. Hey, let's just make it simple. Let's make it simple, right? Ladies, when y'all say y'all will cry in a Bentley instead of a Honda, y'all know what that tell men? That tell men that y'all morality is up for sale. That tells men that y'all understand it, even though y'all try to flex and say it's this and it's that y'all understand that if I make enough money, I can treat you however the fuck I want to treat you.
Did you hear what I said?
That's what y'all putting out in the world. You are for sale. There is a price on you, emotionally, physically, mentally. You don't care as long as the dollar amount match. And I'm going to say this like I always said. So it's either y'all want somebody emotionally available, someone that's going to support your dreams and love you as a woman in your perfection and imperfections. You know what they say, the beautiful mess I am. Or it's about the dollars. Could y'all please pick a lie? That's all I got.
Hey, Ricky, can I ask you a question? Do you remember what a car booty is? Was you around for car booties?
What?
What's a car booty?
A car booty was a girl who only dated a dude because he had a dope whip. He had to have it. He had to have them Pioneers in the trunk. He had to have them. It was 18s back then. You know, they was 20s, but the 18s, we kept them clean though. You know what I'm saying? But you had to have that new Monte Carlo. You had to have that new Nissan Maxima. You had to have that Cadillac on them things. And it didn't matter what he do to you. As long as you rode in the passenger seat, you was happy. Now y'all just dollar booties and shit.
Dollar booty.
I have a issue with just how women operate. And like I always say, is because they don't have goddamn fathers. So it's three types of men that women get caught up with, and they don't know how to deliberate between the three types of men. One, you got the dude that you already know don't want you, ain't never gonna want you. You know, it might be the rich dude, it might be the popular dude, it might be the tall dude, it might be the dude that just, you know, got all the women or something, right? She's gonna get that man ass with no problem. And then you got the Pookie, who she's gonna give the ass out with no problem, because unlike the dude that she know doesn't want her, she likes to feel wanted. And the dude that's the Pookie, he wants her, but at the same time, he doesn't want her either. So You got the high-end dude that doesn't want her. Then you got the Pookie that actually doesn't want her, because the Pookie, she doesn't want him either, because she just wants a feeling of control. So they're kind of like back and forth. She wants him, he wants her. But then you got the dude that actually wants her. She don't want him, and he's chasing her because she is so used to dudes not wanting her, where she's confused on why he wants me. The broke dude don't want me, and the dude got all this other stuff don't want me. So why do you want me? And those are the three types of dudes that women just don't understand how to deal with between the three. So she just goes between the three different dudes in her lives and just stays single, because at the end of the day, she's literally not used to being wanted.
All right. King Rio, what are your thoughts about it, sir? His financial status says I can, in relation to the video I just played.
I think if you're being taken care of, you're more inclined to be quiet, just in general. And I think the risk of disrupting your comfort by aggravating the person who's taking care of you is something that you think twice about, opposed to if he doesn't have anything, or if you bring more to the table than him, you're going to be quite vocal about whatever it is you're disgruntled about at any point and whatever you feel like doing it. What her experience was, I'm sure we can break down and analyze, because we don't know what exactly was going on. Not everybody with money is a jerk. However, you got a lot more say-so, and you take a lot less shit when you're taking care of that individual. I think that just come with the territory.
Okay.
I would say I can see what she's trying to say, but I would say it's his morality that says that he can or cannot. It's really kind of like, what is his, because like Rio said, like there are some dudes that make money that are cool with being faithful to their lady, right? But then there's some broke dudes that's gonna cheat on their chick too. So I would look at it as from a perspective of morality. Like, what is she looking for when she goes and trying to talk to this dude? Like at the beginning of the conversation, you should be trying to find out what is his baseline, what is his morality, what is his integrity, what is his character, as opposed to trying to see what is his money, like his financial status. Like, because dudes that have a plan can get to the money. And the thing about what's unfortunate for women, they don't, I won't say all, but most women don't understand that dudes are more faithful to the woman that came up with them, from what I've seen, than the woman that got with him when he got the bag. I mean, so after he got the bag, you know. So I would say that it's more of a morality issue than his financial status that says that he can or cannot.
All right.
Well, for one, I just want to commend her for learning that lesson that a lot of women learn late in their life. Money ain't enough to be disrespected. She caught it early, which is why she said what she said, in the sense of, well, shit, I mean, if I want to be disrespected, I just, like, the money is not irrelevant. She would rather not be disrespected than accept the quote unquote benefits of a man having money. So just like she said, if my man would come home every night and he'll treat me right, I'd date a broke man. So she got the lesson early that a lot of women don't get until they 2-3 kids being 150 pounds heavier. So salute her for that. And then in terms of what this says, his financial status says I can, it's a fact. Same way a fat ass says she can. Pretty face says she can. Fact is that when you have a desirable trait, you got wiggle room with most people. Because most people are not firm in their morals. Most people's morals are flimsy, especially in regards to money. And that's men and women. We're going to be honest here. You got men that's cool with dudes that got money who they don't really fuck with for real. Because his morals is trash. I don't really like to be around him. But he got the bag. And when we go out, you know, he commands a certain amount of attention, certain amount of women are with us, around, whatever the case may be, or we go on trips, he getting a yacht, he doing this. So like, it's fun to be around him because he got the money, but take that money away and you wouldn't even hang with him. So benefit drives interest. That's what they're saying. And that's 1,000% true. We see it with women every day. Whenever like a Dwayne Wade or somebody cheat on their girl, cheat on Gabby, then you will go to Twitter and dudes be like, damn, she took him right back. Like, yeah, but y'all won't take us back. And what they'll say, you don't have Dwayne Wade money. So what that means is that it's two sets of rules. Like I always say, yeah, they got a set of rules for the man that they really like or the man with benefits that they really desire. And they got a set of rules for everybody else. Don't be everybody else. Be the exception. But that status, it's not changing. Been that way forever. When you have what's desirable, you have wiggle room. That's life, whether it's a man or a woman. Because it's like, dudes that sit up here and say, ain't no woman gonna do me. I don't care. Let Rihanna give 90% of these dudes a chance. And if she want to show her body online, he gonna let her show her body online. The same way he'll say, oh no, my girl never. Okay. But he dating Kim K or he dating Beyonce and Beyonce got that new lingerie line that she ready to drop. You think he gonna say a word to her when she go to show her body online? No, you're gonna accept that because that's what come with having that type of woman. So yeah, I mean, again, just like I said, man, that's why I tell this all the time, work at gaining something that's desirable. And then you'll get that same wiggle room. But if you don't got it, you don't got it. Simple and plain. That's my take on it.
But my question is, I have a problem when the woman goes to the loser because that's the thing that usually happens in our communities. A woman will get ran through by dudes with the money, and then she'll go to the loser and have babies with him, and now she got loser babies. And that in particular is the actual problem. Only women, black women, white women do it too, but like animals don't do this shit. Insects don't do this shit. Only human women are just this dumb to go sleep with the dumbest, most inept, the brokest, stupidest man and have a baby with him. Animals don't even do this shit. And the shit is just so weird. So I understand the man with the money and that can kind of like have you messed up or whatever. But damn, it's this extreme opposite. You go from this dude over here, then you go all the way to the trash can and get with this dude and say, oh yeah, I get with a broke dude. Now, if there's a plan, just like y'all said, I understand that, but the thought of, oh, I'll come home every night to a broke dude, that just isn't like biological nature. And that's the biggest problem with damn women. They just go against biology. They just do the stupidest shit, but it's not even their nature, it's their nurture because their moms in some type of way screwed them up. And it's sad because at the end of the day, animals even have enough sense to not mate with weak males. Because I'm always about the family, the kids and all that shit. And that's the actual biggest problem with all of this. They are quick to go get ran through by the dude that got the money, that don't want her, and then go have babies with the loser because she got a certain amount of control, or he can't go nowhere, or he gonna live with her. And now she got a bunch of loser ass babies. They're gonna grow up, be losers just like their daddy.
But hey, let go. You're right. But the wild part is that's on them dudes. Like, why would you take a woman that's been ran through like that? But the thing is that, I mean, it's the same reason people will go buy 2000.
You ain't got no options. If you're a loser and she's attractive, you winning.
But the wild part is you ain't even got to be a loser. You could be a nigga that was a loser, but you done came into something, but you still see her how you saw her when you was a loser. It's the same way niggas that go buy a 2000 Mercedes Benz right now and it's 2022. It's got 200,000 miles on it, but it's just, hey, I just, I always wanted this car. I want me a fancy luxury car. I do whatever it takes to get it. In fact, there's a lot of these niggas be fantasizing over these girls. That's why you see in the music industry, they pass the same 7, 8 chicks around. What the rapper could be 19 or the rapper could be 42. They passing the same women around. Why? Because on the come up, this who was the status symbol for what success is. So, you know, as a man, we got to change that shit. Like you dope enough now to create one of them women. You don't got to go try to relive who she was 15 years ago. Because fact is, she ain't. 9 out of 10, she fucked up mentally. Probably got kids. Probably got all kind of trauma and all type of shit that you about to walk into. But you still see her how you saw her when you was a loser and she was lit. So men gotta stop doing that shit, man. Like get to your bag and create your own Amber Rose or Ari Fletcher or Lyra Galore. Cause it's a million women out here that look like that. Let's just be honest. Shit, I live in Houston and you live in Atlanta. So you already know. Literally at the gas station, a grocery store, checking the mailbox, you were running into something that looked like that. So, you know, dudes got to have, you know, a little more, you know, more self-esteem, a little more pride, man. I don't want no chick that I know just been just passed around just because she got a name or because she had status when I was, you know. So that's my whole take on that. But what you're saying is 1,000% true. That shit crazy. I see it every day.
I mean, why would you want somebody who didn't want you on the come up? Right? To stress Trill's point, right? You should be looking at her different the same way she looking at you different. Right? She is not at the status that she was at when you really wanted her, when you wanted to really get with her, right? She looked at you like you was beneath her. But now you the man, and now you still looking at her like she Nia Long back in the 90s. She not. Right? I'm just, man, we'll get into it. Let's move on.
So you're talking about, like, I would see this as a Steve Urkel, Stefan type of situation. Right? Steve Urkel had what Laura really needed as a man. Like, he catered to her, right? And was trying to give her everything that she wanted. But then he was the same dude, but then he had a charisma about himself, and she changed and said she wanted him. But he still desired Laura. Like, both the dudes still desired Laura, when Stefan could have, based on how they wrote the character, could have had any other woman. Right? So it makes a lot of sense what you're saying, Ricky. Like, why would you want to get the girl that didn't want you when you was on the come up? That doesn't make any sense. But as Trill said, I think Mr. Lego said, it's a self-esteem issue, right? Or you had an idea of who this woman was and you want that, but that time is gone. Why don't you go find somebody that wants you where you at? Right? If you do that, then it's a beautiful thing when you find somebody that wants you where you at.
Before I go to Rilla, I'm gonna go to Simon. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the show. You want to chime in on this topic?
Yo,
you got something going on. Loud.
Is that any better? 1, 2. Is
that better? Yeah, it's better. All right.
Yeah, I think marriage is important. I think just on the subject, a lot of people have not been married, and they're subjective. So, you know, a lot of the conversation comes from a subjective perspective, and we could turn around and speak about our women in a certain type of way, and that's fair and that's cool. And I think it's important for Black men, in particular, to have a stand in terms of where we're going, because because we have been trodden on, but at the same time, we're not going to get very far by just wiping out Black women. That's we can't do that. So we need to work out some sort of way of like coming to some sort of mutual sort of standpoint, and that's what I sort of detracted from the conversation we're having at present. Thank you, Lapeef.
All right, no doubt. Anybody want to respond?
So, what would you say would be the solution? Because you're saying that you're given the problem, but what would be your solution to bringing the two different points of view together? This is why I'm asking, because if men control access to marriage and a woman wants to be married, why does the dude need to change anyway? Right? The woman doesn't necessarily have to change, but if she wants to be in the particular game of getting married, there's going to have to be an adjustment. And currently, from what has been said on different platforms, women are not trying to change. So, how would you, or what advice would you give other than what we're doing?
The thing I see, which is a very problematic situation, is that black men do not want to change their mind state, period. Like we want to turn around and think that we can solve the woman's mind state when you can't do that. You can't. You know, if you've ever been in a relationship for a long period of time, you'd acknowledge that at the end of the day, the black woman is the black woman. And I understand these conversations, and they're very poignant and very useful to young people. But when you start having children and stuff, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, you know, if you've ever been in a relationship where you've had a child with a black woman, that's completely different to just having a relationship or trying to bust someone down or some shit like that. So what I'd say to you is there is a bit of work to be done in terms of black men actually understanding black women, period. And, you know, call me a simp all fucking day long. I'm not being bad, sorry, I don't want to swear. But I'm just saying, like, there is some work to be done in terms of understanding black women, because we have these endless cartwheel conversations about black women. And the thing is they are endless. The conversations are endless. And why are they endless? Because we're not working out.
So Simon, just if I could just chime in real quick, because I understand some of what you're saying. I think the point that gets missed a lot of times from that perspective, because I shared that view at one point, but then when you step back and you look at, like, sometimes for me, I just step back and take a look at all the conversations that's happening. I don't participate in every conversation that's happening in this space. But men, I'm saying online and offline, I see men stepping up to the plate. And I see men also saying this is the standard. Now, what we do on Tuesdays, we're reinforcing, we're building the standard, we're challenging men, right, in certain areas. And so it's not necessarily about bashing or coming down on black women as much as it is about holding a mirror to some of their faces and saying, look, here's the reality of the situation. And then what you have also is brothers stepping up and you know, they're getting their resources together. They're getting themselves together, right? And then they're still not able to find help meets that are qualified and suitable for the family that they want to build, which is why they're opting out otherwise. Now, if they didn't care altogether about community or black, there'd be no real need to continue to have these conversations. I agree with you on that. I also agree that at some point we got to move to a point of solution. But I think the starting point and what you see men saying is, yeah, enough's enough. Like, there's just certain behaviors men are not tolerating anymore. There's certain conversations and language and rhetoric that men are not tolerating from women anymore. And so what that becomes is the woman has to say, okay, well, either you want this type of man or you don't. And men are saying, if you don't, cool, go ahead about your long head. I'm going to find happiness elsewhere or whatever, satisfaction, family, legacy, whatever it is that they want to build, they're going to do that elsewhere. But I do think these conversations are necessary. And I don't look at Tuesday conversations like how I see some of the other conversations that happen in these spaces when it comes to talking about women. I see Tuesday as a mastermind group and we're problem solving. And some stuff we just call out to the forefront and then we just build on it.
All right, Simon, we gotta keep the show moving. I appreciate you coming in, chiming in on
Thank
this.
you. Thanks for letting me up. Peace.
All right, no problem. All right. All right, go ahead, Ridley. Do you want to respond to this question? You good?
Yeah, I didn't have much to add on, man. I think all the brothers really, kind of hit it out the park, man. I think, it's for me, but it's not so much as his financial status says he can. His financial status is a reflection of the sacrifice that he put in, the blood, sweat, and tears that he put in to get that. So the resources that he's accumulated reflects that. So if I'm going to go out and fight the lion, tigers, and bears, I'm damn sure not finna come and fight you and put up with BS from you. It's like, man, if I'm to that status, man, it is what it is. You're going to get down to lay down. Right? And, I understood what the sister was saying. I'll be honest with you. It's rare that I see that exercise where a woman saying, I'm done crying in the Bentley. I'm gonna go to that Honda Civic now. I'm crying that Honda Civic. No, you're gonna keep crying in that Bentley.
It's just funny to me. It's just funny to me how, right? When we having these discussions with ladies on the panel, these are the stories they give us. This is the narrative they set. Why are we changing the story they tell us? Why? Do they have a reason? A lot of us ain't. I ain't trying to hit. I ain't dating none of them. Do they have a reason to lie?
Ow.
Why are we trying to expound on something that they constantly telling us and prove to us on a day-to-day basis? Why y'all as men can't take what they saying at face value? That is exactly what it is. And as a man, it's simple. You move accordingly. It's not my job to second guess her. This is what they tell us. And sad to say, this is what they show us.
I wanted to say something, but you said like what Mr. Let Go. I was pondering on her saying that she would date a broke dude, right?
Yeah,
you made a really valid point. Like, why? It's kind of like why, from a biblical perspective, it's like why would you give your pearls to swine?
right.
It's like you're saying you dated these dudes that had financial wealth, and they treated you bad. But you're gonna go and give yourself to someone that's not gonna build you up, right? From an emotional standpoint. I mean, if you emotional standpoint, y'all probably gonna struggle. You know what I'm saying? Because a man with a broke mindset doesn't need to be in a relationship, right? Because that means that if y'all did get married, you're marrying a dude that's not gonna be a good father. He's not going to be a good husband.
Right.
If he is staying at that particular position and does not have a desire to move forward. So for her to say that, I seen the lady next to her and she didn't really agree. Like they and women typically stick together, right? But those two women didn't seem to agree with what she's saying. And it's unfortunate that she thinks that she has to go to the total opposite end of the spectrum to find happiness in a marriage or in a relationship. So I wonder why she would say that, right? Because that's what you were trying to get to. Why would you?
Yeah, I could understand though why though.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I always am into biology and stuff, and there was a biologist that studied chimpanzees, monkeys, or something like that, right? And it's a white guy who spent like 2 years just leaning up against a tree, just watching monkeys and filming them and shit like that, right? And he said something that would happen on a normal basis is one male that sleeps with all the females. All the other males, like, you know, there'll be a second in charge and then a bunch of losers, males, right? And what would happen, the strong male will be over here doing some other stuff, and then one of the weak males will go and try to sleep with the female. Then a strong male will just run over and just almost kill him, right? Just ravish him, you know. And next thing you know, the biologist said he would watch to see what that particular monkey would do. And that monkey would actually go after a smaller monkey and fight that monkey just out of nowhere. And that monkey, which is weaker than that one, would actually fight a female monkey. And that female monkey would eventually start attacking a baby. So what this actually means is when a woman in this particular situation gets attacked emotionally by a dude that is on a higher level than her, the first thing she feels compelled to do is to find somebody else to treat like somebody treated her. So she's going all the way from the best guy in the city to the worst guy in the city, not because she wants to be with him, because she just got treated like shit by this dude over here. So she needs, like, just inside of her, she needs to get this aggression out. So she wants to treat somebody like shit. So she'll go find a man that she thinks she can holler at and cheat on and treat like shit, like the dude hollered at her and cheated on her and treated her like shit. It's actually a biological thing that it starts with women, black women in particular. Their mothers treat their daughters like shit, and then the daughter goes out and finds some boy and she treats him like shit. But in this situation, is a dude with money and versus a broke dude.
I tell you what, man, I think we may be reading too deep into this. I'm gonna be honest. I think, like, listening to it, it sounds like she's speaking in hyperbole. Basically saying, like, I'd rather walk than sit in this goddamn traffic. I mean, of course, you don't want to get out your whip on the highway and walk to the destination, right? But it's just, this shit has just been so egregious that I'm willing to just anything to get me away from this. Like, that's the tone that I kind of took it in. That's why I gave her props at the beginning. She learned some shit early that a lot of women learn late, 150 pounds and 2 kids later, is the fact that money ain't everything. So if you listen to it back, she's basically saying, like, you know, I done had men with money, I done did whatever the case may be, but basically telling women, like, it's not worth it. And I think the women around her wasn't necessarily taking heed to that. And it's probably because they hadn't really got to date a man with money. Like, that's just what it is. I think, you know, just with money in general, people got to experience money to realize that it ain't what it's hyped up to be. So her 2 friends sit on that couch. She gonna have to date her a couple blue checks, get, you know, drove out on that bus with the blacked out windows and leave your phone in this plastic bucket before you get off at Drake house or at little baby house or whatever the case may be. Like, they're gonna have to go through that and, like, get that out of their system. But it sounded to me like she done already done that already and realized that it ain't no pot of gold at the end of this motherfucking rainbow. So it's like, I'd rather date a nigga with no money than to get disrespected every day. Like, so that's what I took it as. Like, it just sounded like hyperbole to me.
That's a crazy hyperbole, no dream.
It's crazy.
Nah, but
that's not
listen back
nature.
But listen back to what she said. She said that if my man is gonna come home every day and treat me with the respect that I deserve, I'd much rather be with a broke man than be with a millionaire who's not gonna do those things. So again, that's why I sound like hyperbole. JR, you
as a woman, you will get disrespected to your face because his financial status says I can. So my thing is, if you coming home to me at night and only me, baby, I'll take you broke.
Shit.
I'll take you broke. Because I've been broke in by millionaires. Come on now, what's the...
Title.
You, as a woman, you will get disrespected to your face because his financial status says I can. So my thing is, if you coming home to me at night and only me, baby, I'll take you broke.
Shit.
I'll take you broke. Because I've been broke in by millionaires. Come on now, what's the...
Title of this episode is I'll take you broke.
Nah, Trill got a point.
See what I'm saying?
But it's like some Lion King shit. You go
Nah, she'd have
and,
been on that
and
bus.
you up here, and then you eating bugs and caterpillars and shit.
Nah,
What?
Trill got a point. No. I don't think he's saying that, but I definitely think baby done rode that bus though, Trill. I think she'd have been to the mansion a couple times. Them trips to Dubai don't pay for themselves.
Nope. All right. Guys, just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Make sure you get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's some super chats came through.
No more Mr. Ice Guy. Why do women think trauma is an excuse for promiscuity? So she's a 304 and got unresolved mental issues past. How does either that make for a good wife?
Oh, that's the one we was gonna parking lot, my bad.
James said, "What's up, Ghost? I'm with it. Thundercat sound like fire coochie. You stupid, bro."
Chitara had that.
Had that thing, bro. That what? Plain OB $10. Appreciate you, sis.
Bro, she was fine too. A whole cartoon was fine.
She wore leopard outside. That's all I gotta say. She wore cheetah outside. Chemo, what's good? That's the I've had my fun. I'm ready to settle. Meaning to life. Thanks for entertaining hubby and I every Tuesday. Godspeed, Kings. Peace, sis, and peace to the king as well. No more Mr. Ice Guy again. Appreciate you. Do high value men create 304s, or are they creating the standard and experiences that lead to women to choose to participate in casual flings and transactional relationships?
Bro, gonna have to pull up. You're gonna have to pull up.
No more Mr. Ice Guy. Do felons have more children because they live a life where they are either going to die or be in prison forever? Chemo again. Appreciate you. You said in some situations it's the only option. Most men know when they've been overlooked. That dude that has stability and a little influence told her no. Xavier, what's good, bro? Trill Ricky, how do we know? How do we know what? Ain't that a Whitney Houston song? G Firm, if he's broke, she'll be doing the disrespecting.
You could tell Ricky a wedding DJ.
I appreciate all the super chat that has come through thus far. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Bring Doug Will up for a quick second. What's going on, Doug Will? Appreciate your support. I definitely see you active in the chat and super chatting as well. What do you want to bring to the table before we move on to this next topic?
First of all, JR, can y'all hear me? Does my sound good?
Yeah.
It's, thanks for having me up. It's such a pleasure to be on such an august panel, Kings. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a regular dude out here making my way in the world. But I was late. I was on another panel talking about something else, and I just caught that last little bit. Did I hear correctly that this woman said that she would rather be with a broke dude that's gonna come home every night and treat her right versus being with a millionaire? It's gonna disrespect her. That's what I heard, right? Okay. Any fellas in the chat or watching the replay that listen to that and believe that, I got some swamp land to sell you. I got a bridge to go with it, because that is some bullshit. Okay? Total bullshit. I don't believe one word of it. I never will. Once a woman has reached a certain status, or been with a man of a certain status, been with a man of a certain level, she's not going to downgrade on her own volition. She's only going to downgrade if life makes her downgrade.
That's what happens. Life makes her downgrade.
Exactly. Life is going to make her downgrade. She's not going to her own choice choose to go be with a lesser man, or in her eyes is a lesser man, because he's going to so-called treat her right. I don't know why. That's just some pandering if I've ever heard it. And I just wish that women would stop lying like that. Niggas are not dumb.
Most women do that.
I know. But I know
that women have babies by losers. The typical black woman, her first child was by a bum. It happens every single day. Any woman that you know, her first baby daddy was a bum. Any woman you know, 98% of black women, their first baby daddy was a bum. It happens every day, unless she got married or something like that. But it happens every time. All you got to do is look at a chick's baby. The baby looks like a loser. What did you talk? It happens every time. All you got to do is look at a chick kid. Oh, who's baby daddy? Hear the story? Oh, damn, bum.
But that's part of my point, Mr. Lego, is that I'm do what you want to do out here, right? We don't live you can do what you want to do. You can live how you want to live. You can make whatever choice you want to make. Please just stop lying. I'm just get tired of the lying and the pandering, because listen, man, we're not dumb. We're just not dumb. That's the only thing I want to say. And I just had to come in and comment on that. I'm not going to stay too long.
What do you think the truth is? You think they still, what do you think the actual truth is? You think they're lying? I'm just a little confused.
About that situation? What you lying about?
No, I'm confused by you saying they're lying. You said life actually hits them in the face and realizes that for whatever reason, you know, them dudes be doing this or doing that to them. And she just like, yo, I'm tired of just getting punched in the face or whatever it is. I'm tired. And then they go all the way to the loser. Because like I said, women start wanting to be the abuser instead of the abusee. So she gets with the loser so she can abuse him the same way the man that was abusing her was abusing her.
I'm going on what she said when she said, I would rather, right? Now, she might do something else because she has no other options. But she said, I would rather be with that guy that's broke, that's going to treat me right, than be with the millionaire. And I'm saying that is a lie. If she still had the option to be with a millionaire or be with millionaire type of dudes, she going to keep taking them millionaire punches figuratively over being with the broke dude's pillow. That's going to treat her right. That's what I'm saying.
See, Dub, I don't know about that one, bro. I don't. And it goes back to the theory that I say about all the time, right? Most women, like, it takes for them to experience having money and for them to get accustomed to having money to realize that it's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Nothing no more.
Which is why I tell dudes all the time, like, especially in this space, I like hear that a lot. Like, just get to the bag, man. A woman gonna do what you say. You know, as long as you get to the bag. Yeah, a broke woman who ain't never experienced no money is gonna do what you say until she buys all those bags that she always wanted to buy. She buy that car that she always wanted to buy. She got money in her account that she never had before. Now it's gonna come down to how compatible are we. The money is not gonna be as important. So that's why that same type of woman will cheat on a Shaq with the grass man.
Yep.
He ain't got nearly as much money as Shaq got. The pool boy. But what does he have? He has time and he has attentiveness. And that money is not as intriguing because I've got everything that I always wanted to buy with the money. So that's my only take. So it just depends on your experience. Like, I know some chicks who've been dealing with blue check niggas since they was freshmen in college. So by the time they hit 25, 26, it's like, okay, I didn't experience that already. I mean, you know, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, she wouldn't rather just a man that's broke. But what she's saying is that if it's a millionaire and he gonna disrespect me and not come home, compared to a broke dude who gonna be attentive and who gonna take care of me and treat me with the respect that I deserve, I'd rather the broke dude. That's what she's saying. And I don't think she's lying about that because, again, I don't know her experience enough to speak on it. But it sounds to me like she done dated a few millionaires before. And, again, done got accustomed to the money. So that shit is not as intriguing to her as it is to a broke woman who never have before. So I don't know, bro. We might got to take her at a word depending on what her experience is.
Yeah, you think that she would change? You thinking that she would?
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, just the last thing. Do you think that she would change her morality? Because that's what she's saying. She's saying, listen, my morality is that I want a dude that's gonna come home and treat me right. The other dude was not treating me right. You're saying that she's lying, that she would probably go back to the dude that's a millionaire and disrespect her. That's what you believe?
Yeah.
Will?
I do. When we talk about morality, humble dad, and I see where you're coming from. How many people today operate off of morality and not off of what's in their best interest.
Well, no, it's not really about that. It's about the fact that she is with. See, okay, women are children, all right, and children value attention more than money. You give a child a bunch of money, they ain't getting no attention, they're not going to be happy. And the child will tell you. Same thing with women. Women are just tall children. So women think they want money and enjoy money, but just like children, they need attention. So one thing a rich dude most likely isn't going to give a chick that looks like that or is attention. He has shit to do. So she would get with the loser. Why? Because he ain't got no money. He ain't got no job. He's going to be in her face every single day. And it goes back to, like I said, women are children. Women think they want money, just like children think they want candy and money and all this other shit, video games and all that. You give a kid all that shit, they still gonna be miserable because women and children value attention more than money.
All right.
Well, I just want to drop in and give my 2 cents. I still stand on my point. We have to agree to disagree, but appreciate having me on, fellas. Y'all have a good night.
No doubt. Appreciate you, Doug Will. And thanks for the support again. Scam, like I see you back there, but we'll get to you momentarily. If you haven't already, just get them likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Gonna move on to our next topic of the night. We often talk about women forgiving men, right? So we're gonna kind of flip it. I'm gonna play this clip.
It's easy to say that you're gonna leave your wife or your woman until you're put in that position, bro. Like,
that's ego. That's ego talk.
That's the thing. That's ego talk, bro. Like, when you actually put in that position and you realize you actually love this woman, bro, yeah, you think twice. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, not because I'm necessarily I went through whatever, but I just know how hard I love my wife. I can see, like, I hope she doesn't hear this shit, but I can see myself forgiving her as long as, as long as I can establish that it was a mistake.
That brings me up to the topic is, would you forgive your wife for cheating?
Absolutely not. Dude is short and ugly, so I can understand. Yeah, he don't have as many options. And a wife is not about options. So I'm not going to say you're just going to replace your wife. But the thing about this that's important for women to understand, because we men already understand, because this dude, I don't know what the hell wrong with him. Well, he's short and ugly. But when a man has conquered your wife, she's no longer your wife. So if a man, because this is what's crazy. Women spend their entire lives with enough practice of saying no. In most cases, her husband, at some point, she said no to him, and he kept trying and could try, and she finally gave him a date. So you're going to spend all these years having the understanding that all these men want to smash, and you're saying no. Decades of saying no to dudes. And then you get with a dude and he marries you, and then you forget to say no and turn around and give another man some ass. Oh no, you the fuck out of here. So nowhere in hell. Because like I said, a man has conquered my wife. She's no longer my wife. I wouldn't even get on hard for that woman.
Go ahead, King.
I'll blow up my whole family for that. Well, I don't want to say that on social media. I will screw up my whole family for that.
Yeah, I mean, just being married, man. Nah, it's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? You made your choice, and I understand it. I respect it. But fact of the matter is that I don't have the temperament to take her back. I mean, I say it all the time, right? I mean, I could take you back, but the cost of me taking you back, it's not going to be worth it. I promise you, it's not going to be worth it. See, me, how I'm wired, right? Like, I'm like very vindictive, and I don't like losing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go above and beyond. I'm the type of person, I believe, if I'm crossed or if I'm offended in any way, I'm going to triple what the offense is, right? So if you do that, my response is going to be something that we'll never be able to come back from. So it would just behoove you to just walk. Just go try the new life with old boy. And again, we can co-parent, we can do whatever we gotta do, but nah, I'm never gonna look at you the same. Ever. And that's the thing about men, right? Like, it takes us a lot to get married for that very reason. We look at our wife as being damn near superhuman, as far in regards to the pedestal that we put on. And I mean, it's not blindly, because I mean, she's earned her spot for most men. Let me speak for most men. She's earned her spot to be married. She's went through some trials, tribulations, whatever, to walk down that aisle to get that ring. And she done showed up and showed out in times to where it was necessary. You know what I'm saying? Make or break time, she was there. Held us down through whatever, she was there. All of that. And she earned her spot. So when we give her that ring, we got her on a pedestal that's superhuman like. So when you do something like that, for whatever the reason may be, it'll be down there impossible for that man to ever look at you the same. And again, I can only speak for me, because again, like logically, it makes sense to take her back and try to save the family. You don't want to create a broken home. Like, let's work through this. Let's get counseling. Let's get this. Let's get that. But I'm not wired like most men, right? So I'm gonna make your life a living hell if you take me back. So it would just be best that, hey man, we just go our separate ways and all that. And I tell my wife all the time, I say, if you cheat, you might as well just leave. Like, don't try to rekindle it. Don't try to fix it. Don't none of that, because you know me. And it just ain't gonna happen. So again, I think it just depends on the man's wiring. But in terms of most men, they'll never see their wife the same. And that's a hard thing, especially if you got kids, because you want to set the example for how you treat a woman and different things like that in front of your kid. But if I'm looking at you with absolute disgust, every time I look at you, I think about the fact that man know what your tonsils feel like. It's gonna be hard for me to hide that in front of my kid. So now I'm gonna be giving off terrible examples and shit like that my kid gonna get traumatized by, and they're gonna go out in the world and repeat. And I don't want to do that. I want to put on a healthy front. But I'm not gonna be able to do that if you do that. So that's just my take on it.
I just got a question for you, and some of the other men can chime in too. So there's a difference when a man cheats versus a woman cheating, because there are some women that will argue and say that it's not a difference. The same thing. Cheating is cheating.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
it is. It is. But let's talk about it. I think we had this conversation before. So let's expound. The truth is, right? It really ain't about your girl getting hit by no other dude. It's your ego, right? Because right? You know that your girl seen the deficiency in you that she didn't see in that man she let hit, even though she was with you. Don't nobody conquer your girl, dog. She get that pussy up. This is not olden times where you go and knock a girl upside the head and drag her up the street. She gave that pussy up because she saw something in that man she didn't see in you.
Well, she gone then. She can stay with that dude. That's the point.
Right. And that's cool. Right? It's your relationship. All of us have choices. But what I'm saying is this, right? And I say it exactly like I said before. Everybody sit up here and talking absolutes. And why some of y'all, understandable. But the majority of the people, even though you don't know their business, even though you probably never know, if they caught their girl out there sliding, they would stay, especially if they married and got something to be in there for. Those are just facts. But y'all really need to stop with that conquering shit. Ain't nobody conquering your girl. Your girl gave the pussy up. You didn't conquer your girl. She chose to give you some ass, dog. Stop with that bullshit. That's bullshit.
But the fact still remains the same thing, though.
To you, say for you, right? Say for you, right? But again, the thing is, you can't, no matter how you look at it, it's not about, especially if y'all are in a relationship, it's not about your perception of what cheating is. It's what, it's no different. Yeah, we can look at it and say the dynamics are different, but you are doing the same. If you did it, it's no different than what you did, than what she did. You had sex with somebody that wasn't your partner, right? So if, like Trill say, if sex is just exercise with a great ending, right? Then we have to put it in its proper perspective. But the truth is more than that. It's your ego, because that person emotionally means something to you. They mean something to you, right? Because if it wasn't all that, you wouldn't give no fucks. You wouldn't care. And again, this is what I'm saying. Everybody want to act like everything is cut and dry. It's not, especially if you married. Just like we always talk about, you got a bunch of shit tied up. You got family, you got kids, you got intertwined families, you got finances. If they moving like Trill and Mr. Let Go move, y'all more than likely got business ventures and everything else tied up in each other. You just ain't gonna walk out the door. And if you do, that's cool. I hear what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? I know what y'all saying. But I'm talking on a general, again, the general size, numbers thing, right? Statistically, most people gonna work that shit out, especially, right? If it was cheating on both sides. Because like I said before, the reason why people get grace is because on the other side of it, you wasn't being 100 with your partner. That's why you need to just be right on both sides. So that way, when something fall through, the decisions are easy to make. So I can completely understand what y'all saying. If y'all doing everything y'all need to do as a man and she slide out on some bullshit. But if you out there fucking up too, shut your ass up.
Yeah, that part, I can understand what you're saying. If I'm running around doing all kinds of crazy shit and she turns around and does it, and is some type of way of like, well, you did it, because I'll be looking at myself like, why am I married? Why am I in this situation? Of course, I can't tell exactly what I would do in the future, but I don't see doing shit like that. So if I'm running around cheating on my wife, I'm actually still going to divorce her if she cheats on me, because for two reasons. One, if I'm running around cheating on my wife, that means I don't want to be with this goddamn woman and I feel stuck. So the second she cheats, I'm like, oh shit, I can get out of jail free card. You cheated on me. I can't believe that. I can't deal with it. I'm out of here. And you're not going to get none of this shit because you cheated on me. And her guilt is going to keep me out of court. So I'm definitely going to get rid of her ass. So even though, no matter what, if a woman cheats on me, I am out, because that, regardless of how you want to look at it, is a get out of jail free card. No court, no custody battle, no nothing. Because if I find out a woman cheats, that means I don't did some shit, some private investigator, I don't did some shit, something. I'm not gonna be like, you cheating on me because you play on your phone. No, I ain't gonna mess on no man. I'm gonna know in some type of way. So I'm gonna have some type of proof, and I'm gonna take that shit to court and be like, Your Honor, Exhibit A, get me the hell up out of this marriage. And I want this, I want that, and we'll fairly split things up. But you ain't gonna screw me over in this marriage, and I'm getting my ass out.
Let me go to Rio. Rio, would you forgive your wife for cheating?
I could forgive if we separate potentially, right? Because ultimately, after a while, you don't care so much about the individual in that way for it to matter to you anymore. So to answer your question even more directly, I would move on immediately. Why? Because she's no longer mine. Once you went and had intercourse with another man, you don't belong to me. My imagination is too wild, by the way, so it definitely wouldn't even work. it just wouldn't work. That shit is going to recycle in my mind so many different ways. It's not even going to be possible for me to remain married to this individual. It makes no sense. I mean, because you know what she does, and you know she did it with him. And then you don't even want to imagine the things that he did and said to her at that point. He did, you know what I'm saying? So nothing is the same. That's your wife. Some other man is back there asking, whose pussy is this? And she calling him daddy and saying that it's his. We talk to, you know what I'm saying? We talk about self-respect. You know what I'm saying? Trill mentioned, he know her tonsils, and you got to replay that in your mind. She deep throating some other dick. And she gonna come back and you're gonna be able to kiss your wife in the mouth for the rest of y'all life. Come on, bro. I'm not that mature. I can't. I'm gonna be straightforward. I cannot. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to be married. You are attracted to this other man. You having fun with him. He busting that thing wide open for all I know. I don't know. All these things are happening. I can't even trust that you're even here for the right reasons anymore, because you can't want me and step outside in these streets and you a wife. You re-entered the streets where it's cold and you opened your legs up and let some straight dog run and ram in that thing. And then I'm supposed to take you in the warmth of this home. I'm supposed to come outside with an umbrella looking like some kind of, listen, it's like life. I'm gonna just tell you, life don't work that way. Not in my world. Not in my world. You got to love yourself enough to say, fuck that, close the door, change the locks. You're not welcome here, ma'am. Get off of my property, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Ladies in the chat, don't think that it is. It may not work out for you. You know
Real, what you think about this? When you said your wife was deep throating someone else before you and you kissed her, what's the point?
She wasn't yours.
She wasn't yours. Thank you, bro.
She wasn't yours. Whatever went on in her world before then, who the hell really knows? Who really knows? You know what I'm saying? She gonna tell you what she wants you to know about her life before she ran into you. But what you do know about is the date y'all got married, took them vows before God and everything, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what you've done as a man, and how y'all started a family, and how you fight temptation, and how you remain disciplined, and how you try to provide and do everything that you have to do to hold up your end of the bargain. And then she take your sacred union and put it out in the street and bust that thing wide open, and he is. And you got to think about that for the rest of your life. Who wants that?
And this is what.
That's
go ahead.
not okay, brothers. You have to draw the line somewhere.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you the same question. Is it different if a man does it? Should the woman be able to forgive the man?
That's up to her. That's her own tolerance level. Everybody has their tolerance level, you know. So if a man says he'll take a woman back, that's his tolerance level. I just want to say one thing, JR, because this is a caveat that goes right along with this. That nigga got the pussy for free. You've been paying for it. You've been taking care of her. When she did dumb shit, you had to go fix it. That other nigga, he ain't had to do nothing. He just walks up, taps that ass, probably didn't even pay for the hotel room. She probably paid for the hotel room because that nigga ain't got no money. So that nigga got that ass for free. And your ass been paying for this woman's entire life, putting up with the shit that she dealing with her mama. Almost taking care of her mama. You don't gave her mama some money. You taking care of this woman's family members. This woman living in your house. And another nigga came through and hit that ass for free. Man, please. No way in hell. That nigga got it for free. I want y'all to think about that. He got that ass for free. All that shit you've been putting up with this goddamn woman. No way in hell.
Say, and then on top of it, man, like the thing that's gonna burn me up the most, because like again, like I said, this is all ego. And Ricky right, especially in regards to me. My ego is fucking huge. I'm not gonna even lie to about that. But the first thing that I'm gonna think about when I catch it or when it happens, it ain't even gonna be the act itself. It's gonna be like all of the hoes that I passed up on to make this thing work on a day-to-day basis, man. Like I done turned down I done passed up a lot of women to make this thing.
Chill, pause, bro.
That's just honest, bro. Like no cap, no nothing. That's real life. A lot of women to do just what Mr. Lego said. You done bought the house. You done paid $20,000-$30,000 for the wedding. She got a $15,000-$20,000 ring on her hand. You done gave her money to give to her people when they was hurting. Mr. Lego, that what we saying is real.
Yeah.
So it's like all of that is going through your head, and you finesse me of all people. Nah, it ain't no coming back. Like I said, I'm gonna be a demon. So it would just stay far away from me, bro. I'm talking about shooting at enemies. I'm talking about shooting at your best friend that been flirting with me since we first met. That I just get all of that. Like I'm gonna be a demon. It's not gonna be worth it, man. Just go try it with the new dude. And I wish y'all the best. But as far as us being able to even coincide in the same room, we're gonna be honest, especially if you got kids and shit. Like I wouldn't even want to talk to you to negotiate the exchange of the kid. We got to hire a mediator to do that. Like that's how much disgust that and red that I'm gonna see when I look at you. So that again, that's just not a healthy environment to bring a kid up in. That's not a healthy environment for me. It's not a healthy environment for everything that I'm gonna do to you. It's just not. So again, I mean, I understand what Ricky's saying. For the most part, he right. Like, because a lot of dudes will take that to the chin. A lot of dudes come out and say, "Man, no, hell no, I never." But they be on some women shit. As long as it ain't public, as long as too many people don't know, we can come back to the table and we can make it work. That's how most dudes operate. So Ricky is right in that regard. But me, it's over, bro. Like it's over. Like we may not even be able to be friends after. If I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna be just a nigga on the street. Simple and plain.
Put a fork in her.
But like, listen, I would forgive her only because I supposed to, but we not gonna be together. You know, the lead up to get to the point of sleeping with another man, that means that there was some thought process to go into that. There was some conversations that led up to that. There was some feelings that had been connected that was emotionally there before she even gave herself to dude, right? So that means that she's checked out of the relationship, of the marriage. So if she has checked out, why would I bring her back into the situation? And for me, you know, I go by humble dad, but like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I struggle with that every day.
What?
100%. Okay. All right. So I'm saying she can't come back. Listen, I will take care of the kids by myself. You feel me? Right. I'll make sure. I mean, it's not gonna be. I don't see how I could be friends with her. You know what I'm saying? Because you broke a covenant because I'm gonna be faithful. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I am. And for her to go out and give a man something that she said that she was only going to give to me, that's something that I couldn't do. Now I know dudes that have, like literally know dudes that have done it, taking their wife back, but their marriage is not the same. It's just not the same. I know I have one homie where it happened twice to him. Right, he took her back the first time, and then she did it again years later. Right. And so I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I'm just saying, like, if you did it once, what's going to stop you from doing it again? Right. And men value loyalty. We value loyalty. I think somebody said that on different podcasts, if I'm not mistaken. So as for me, I wouldn't, I would forgive her, but outside of the marriage, because we would not be together. And so, but every situation is different. If you want to take her back, that's on you. But I don't see how y'all move forward from there.
All right. Really want to chime in, sir?
Yeah, I know Humble Dad was saying he struggled to be humble every day. No, you struggle to not eat every day, man. That's what you struggle with.
Here we go, bro.
You definitely gonna eat.
Really. See,
man, hey gentlemen, man, y'all answers were absolutely astonishingly beautiful, man. They sounded great. And I'm not challenging nothing that y'all said. They really did sound good. I'm just saying, I agree with Ricky. Most dudes in those situations, including self, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Like, I know me, and when you're put in that situation, I mean, like right now we on this panel, we talking, this sounds slick, it sounds real good. And I believe some of y'all really would walk away. When you got years in this thing, when you got a lot more on the line and y'all tied into each other, you know what I'm saying? I just believe, and again, self included, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it, and if we can't figure it out, then we just can't figure it out, and that's fine too. And I understand everything y'all saying. When y'all was talking, man, I was thinking about Morris Chestnut on what's that movie, Best Man? I think Rio gave the most vivid description, talking about he was reliving.
That's everything. The movie. He was talking about the movie, probably.
He was talking about the movie. She walking down the aisle, and then he sitting up there looking at what's the boy name? Tay Diggs, tapping that thing from the back, checking the tonsils. I hear y'all, fam. I really
yes, sir.
But you know what's funny? Everything that everybody said when they responded was proving Ricky's point in terms of our egos are bruised and damaged. And that's the one thing we can't recover from. Now, me, I ain't gonna belabor the point, man. I hear y'all. On this one, I absolutely agree with Ricky. I think most men, including self, because we tolerate a lot in marriages anyway. We stay through a lot more shit anyway. Right? Before I married my boo thing, my first marriage, I was in that thing 10 years, 9 years too long for the sake of my children. So we tolerate a lot worse at times to make the family work. I'm not saying that situation wouldn't kill my relationship or wouldn't change things or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying it's one thing for me to sit up here and say and beat my chest, say, "No, I'm gonna kick that half out the door. It's over with. We done. You cheated on me. I can't believe you let another man taste your sweet, watery guts and all this." Man, it's one thing to say it up here, and then it's another thing when you like face to face with it.
Well, if you made a squirt though?
I mean, I'm a different breed. That type of stuff nasty. So I mean, if that's what he made her do, then that's what he made her do.
It says nasty.
Yeah, squirt. Somebody peeing on me? Yeah.
No.
Somebody peeing on me is nasty. Yeah.
But I'm saying you ain't never made her pee on you, and he did it.
Right, I hear you.
No way.
He is wilding, right?
She like, I ain't never squirted before.
Listen, first of all, she shouldn't even be talking to me about what happened.
And really, we got to work on your cuss words. You can't be mad at her and saying sweet, watery guts. That's like giving compliments. Like you got to, give you a book of cuss words or something. You know what I mean?
What's the proper? Hey, wait, yo.
At the moment.
What's the proper cuss word in that situation?
Stinking ass pussy or something. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to realize you're furious in that moment.
Yeah, he was romantic in his anger.
He was romantic.
You don't let somebody get some watery guts. Yeah. How dare you?
No, the people that's watching this that know what I made reference to, they know what I just said.
Oh shit, man! I needed that.
Y'all stupid as hell.
You was serious as hell too, brother. Like
the sweet watery guts. Oh my god!
All right, anybody else want to chime in on this before I move on?
No, move on, man.
All right, guys, just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Here's some super chats. Here we go.
Xavier, like Kenny said, I want a divorce. Chemo, appreciate you again, bro. Men tolerate a lot. Remember, the rate for men leaving is only around 25%. The number one reason for divorce is drug abuse.
Oh, my bad.
Damn, bro. Prophecy to save us. So, Ricky, every time a woman and wife cheats on her man or husband, it was because she saw a deficiency in her husband. No, not all the time. So at the end of the day, it was the man's fault. Well, no accountability, I guess. Nope. I'm talking about in the case where you was fucking up, bruh, and then she went out and gave some pussy away. Shelton Ward, the sound effects when Rio was cooking was impeccable. Malevolent Elephant with the big money.
Appreciate hey, Ricky, he got money.
He got money. What's up with you and me?
Okay. Got
another cheat in the chat. Get on out of here.
Another who?
Another stalker and shit. Under your name.
Really?
Yeah, I just blocked them.
Damn.
Hey man, one time for all the goofies, man. Can y'all relax tonight? I don't need that over here, man.
Play too much.
I appreciate all super chats that has come through so far. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Almost there. Here we go.
Pleasure and the seeking and acquiring of pleasure does not equal happiness.
Correct.
And a lot of times we don't realize that in life. Mm-hmm. We think that because this gives me pleasure, mm-hmm. then I will then be happy. Mm-hmm. But it's you, especially not for a man.
Yeah.
Because it's usually, like you said, the challenges that we have to overcome, mm-hmm. and really the hard shit that might even hurt all the way going there, mm-hmm. that gives us the most fulfillment at mm-hmm. the end of the journey. Mm-hmm.
Pleasure does not equal happiness. Pleasure does not equal happiness. You guys' thoughts about it?
Well, men don't operate off of happiness. We don't really give a shit about happiness. It's about fulfillment. Women run around chasing happiness. I don't give a damn about no happiness. I'm happy now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're dudes. Dudes are like dogs. You know, dogs are just like always happy and shit. You know, so there's no happiness. We're just in a state of being content and okay. You know what I mean? So a family, a marriage, a loving wife, that's fulfillment. And it makes us feel like, you know, we're doing something purposeful with our lives or whatever. But happiness isn't really anything, in my opinion, that men experience. We're always happy, you know. And I ain't saying some dudes don't be sad and depressed or whatever, but like we dudes, like a football game or some titties or whatever, you know, any little thing will make us happy. We straight. We don't need a lot. So it's not like, happiness. I've never needed happiness, you know. Like I said, for me, fulfillment is another thing, but shit, I'm straight. I'm always happy. And if I'm not happy, I'm just less happy. I'm not even sad. So I don't think dudes really experienced that, in my opinion.
Let go. That Cuban link make you happy though, huh?
No, it's just
And I think you had a question.
it
Mr.
brings
Leggo.
happiness.
Somebody got a question for you. It says, what does happiness mean to you?
Like I said, I believe in fulfillment. Happiness is just I don't know. To me, I don't look for happiness because it's a state of being. Like, to me, if you're just always, if you're looking for happiness, it's like you're looking for the up, like the stock market. Life, see, I have an understanding of life. Life is going to go down, life is going to go up. So when I'm searching for happiness, I'm always going to find myself disappointed, because that's not how life is. Life is going to go up and it's going to go down like the stock market. So I just put my money in and just let that shit sit, and it does what it do. But chasing happiness, and it's you're never going to catch it. So it's like chasing women or chasing money. I don't chase happiness. So I'll be happy and I'll be less happy. Sometimes I'll be sad. But to me, it's happy and less happy instead of happiness.
Yeah.
I think happiness, Ricky, I'm just be real brief with this. I think happiness is fleeting, man. I think it's influenced by external factors. And I believe that like joy is internal, right? Joy comes from what you know, right? And happiness is just determined by external factors, and it's all fleeting, right? And so I agree with you, Let Go. I think men are happy with accomplishments, when we're fulfilled, when we accomplish something, and then all the toys and the trinkets. And I was teasing you about the chain, but honestly, it's a reflection of success. It's a reflection of my work ethic, what I've been able to put in. These are the things that I can afford to purchase with the resources that I've accumulated, right? But it's not the end all be all. If
Don't forget titties, but yeah,
if I didn't have it, it wouldn't make or break me. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't make or break me. But for me to put a plan together, put a goal together, a smart goal together or whatever, and to accomplish that, like that's where we find our fulfillment. Where we feel like we've contributed value, right? I tell JR when we talk all the time, I said, bro, the moment I'm not adding value to what we doing over here, man, I'll fall back like a small back, right? Because I don't want to be anywhere where I'm not adding value, where I'm not accomplishing purpose, where I'm not delivering. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say this real quick, and then Ricky, you can cook, bro. When you talk about pleasure does not equal happiness, won't mention another content creator platform, but we just really saw that play out real time. If y'all know what I'm talking about, you just literally saw it play out where one dude was just hell bent on being disrespectful, and then only thing he could cite was the possessions that he had, how rich he was, while he's trying to put down somebody else, and they just sitting up there, stoic and yeah, okay, you got that, but you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you woo woo woo, and I bet your man can't do this, and I bet you can't woo woo woo, and da da da, and he can't afford this, and he couldn't afford to get. Yeah, but you got a small dick, right? Like so, yeah, it happened, humble dad. I'm gonna have to send you the link. Like, we saw this play out real time. I don't know if JR gonna get into it at one point, but he should. But yeah, pleasure does not equal happiness because I have to send it to you, JR.
I missed it, man.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Neck person, yeah.
But the thing of it is, fam kept naming off everything that he owns and all his accomplishments, and bigging up himself and da 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 da. And but baby, you still not happy. Like, you're not happy with yourself, right? So you did all that for what? So go ahead, Ricky. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, I ain't gonna really. Was that the short version?
Yeah, the semi-short version.
Oh, okay. Because you said you weren't gonna be wrong.
Hey, look. It was the Creed 3 trailer version.
It's pleasure? It doesn't, bro. Pleasure. Okay, so what's the most pleasurable thing y'all can think of?
Boom, boom.
Right, getting that nut.
That's what I said.
You know what I'm saying? Getting that nut, right? And what's the moment after that? The most clearest thinking moments you have in your life in history. You know what I'm saying? right? So what do we say about men who constantly chasing that pleasure?
Losers,
right?
They're
If
not productive.
you constantly chasing that pleasure, right? You not focused, right? You're distracted. You're going to make bad decisions. You see what I'm saying? Happiness to me, I totally agree with everybody. It's a state of mind. I prefer the word satisfied. Right? Are you satisfied with the work? Are you satisfied with you with where you're at in your station in your life, with the people that you have surrounded you, the people that you say you love? Right? Are you satisfied with that? But a lot of people not satisfied with what God has blessed them with. They're not, right? So this is why we live in this society of consumerism, right? Where everybody's chasing the next big thing or the next high. I need these Yeezys, I need this chain, I need that car, I need the baddest bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because they chasing those pleasure moments, not satisfaction. Right? It's just crazy to me how people you always yearning for more. You always chasing the next thing, and then when you get it, you mentally are still in the same place. You emotionally are still in the same place. Right? So for you to sit up there and chase a pleasure really is just you wasting your life on something you will never accomplish as a whole. You will never get there. Right? So again, it doesn't equal happiness. To me personally, it equals confusion. It equals mixed direction. And it equals being unfocused, even though you're focusing on something. What they say, what it say, what the one movie said, it said, life moves pretty fast, right? Ferris Bueller, right? Life moves pretty fast. If you don't slow down, you just might miss it. Right? And that's what happens a lot of time when people chasing these pleasures. Y'all, everything's about the next big event, the next big thing, right? When you don't even have time to enjoy the win that you did before. Right? And then what's gonna happen? I keep telling y'all, the honest to God truth. Is one thing I know and two things I know for sure. You're gonna wake up one day and the majority of your life gonna be behind you. And then you're gonna have to sit in your present day. It's called the present for a reason. And really sit down and assess, what have I accomplished? And that's when that big R kick in. That's all I got.
I would say pleasure does bring happiness, but it's short-lived because happiness is conditional, and so is, I would say, pleasure, because it's contingent upon something happening to you, as opposed to what the gentleman have already stated, that if you want to strive for accomplishments, right? You want to have goals put in place and achieve those goals and set your family up for a big time, like set your legacy in place. And those things are not going to be pleasurable because there are going to be things that you have to do that you don't even like to do. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be some hills and some valleys that you're going to have to get through in order to even get to the goals that you're trying to achieve. But as it relates to the statement, I think that because pleasure and happiness, they kind of coincide with one another, that they would that happiness is fleeting as well as pleasure is also fleeting. So I say that they are synonymous in my estimation. And so like Rilla said, I would rather have joy. Right. For me, I'd rather have joy, and that for me is found in my relationship with Christ. I would prefer to accomplish things as opposed to be pleasured. You know what I'm saying? Because it's temporary. But that accomplishment, like me, getting my doctorate degree, that will always be there. Like that is a long-standing thing, right? Me building for my family, that's a long-lasting thing. So I would say, individuals need to be pushing for accomplishments, not happiness and pleasure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fellas pretty much beat this drum, man. In terms of my take on, I think pleasantness and happiness is the same thing. Both of them are fleeting. It's just reality. None of it lasts. You may be happy as hell today, and something happen tomorrow, and your ass is feeling worse than you ever felt in your life. It's not sustainable. And I was reading a book. Damn it, I can't remember the name of it, but they was talking about like basically telling people not to be goal oriented, right? And when I first read it, I was like, well, damn, why wouldn't somebody want to be goal oriented? But then the more I read through it, they was like, yeah, because once you accomplish the goal, all you're gonna do is set another one for the rest of your life. It's a non-fulfilling prophecy. So, your goal might be 20,000 subscribers. You hit 20,000. All right, my next goal 50. All right, my next goal 100. Next goal 150, 200. It's just going to keep going. It's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? So they say take pleasure, slow down, and enjoy the journey of things. And once you can find something that you can enjoy the journey of, that's where you can steal happiness from. Because that's essentially all you're really doing is you stealing it. Because nobody can just to grasp happiness and just hold it hostage and keep it there forever. It don't, again, like I said, it don't work like that. It's going to be ebbs. It's going to be flows. So you just got to steal moments of peace where you can, make sure that you in line with what your purpose, spend time finding out what that is. Because it's a lot of men, shit, me included, 32, still don't know exactly what my purpose is. I'm trying to find it. And, we don't even get to start thinking about that until 25, 30 in most cases. When we should be thinking about that a whole lot earlier. And that kind of, contributes to us suffering mentally and being so, materialistic and all of that different stuff, man. And just so money hungry or whatever the case may be. And it's just always funny because I remember like growing up in our neighborhood, everybody was working at refineries and stuff. And like the goal was $20 an hour. You can get a job $20 an hour, you good, man. You straight. And you ain't got to worry about nothing. So we in school, like, and that's the goal. Like, oh, you $20 an hour, you you good for life. It ain't until you get to $30 an hour or $40 an hour that you realize, well, damn, this ain't even enough. Because with this extra money comes extra taste. And come extra, incentives that I want. Comes family, comes a wife, comes kids, comes, what I'm saying? Like things that I have to, things that I'm responsible for. So it's a never ending prophecy. Like you can't fulfill it. So you might as well not chase it. Just figure out what your purpose is and something that you can enjoy the journey of. Whatever you can enjoy the journey of, that's the true happiness. Because if not, you're going to be working towards, all right, man, I ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to put my head down until I get to this point. My head down until I get to that point. And you're going to look up and your life going to be over. You ain't going to be done enjoying none of it. So that's my take on that.
All right.
Yeah, I said, I think all, like Trill just said, and then including Trill, everybody kind of knocked it out of the park. The things that come to mind for me are pleasure is more of an experience. And I think you can have a pleasurable experience with anybody, really. But happiness is something that's measured over time, and I think it's a collective, I think it's a build. I think when you're happy, whether it be with a person, whether it be with a team, whether it be with a company, whatever it is, you're willing to go through the ups and downs because you realize that you're going to go through tribulations. You're going to experience obstacles. You're going to go through periods where things were uncomfortable or you didn't have the best experience. But overall, there's nobody or no other place that you would have rather gone through it with. So I'll battle with you. I'll experience victory with you. And there's nobody else I'd rather do either with. You know what I mean? I think that's happiness. That's that contentment. that satisfaction. And I think it's the reason also why we kind of need to keep the blinders on when we are happy, right? Because oftentimes we look over in somebody else's lane, we see things that make us less content. When before we started looking out our peripherals, we were happy here. You know what I mean? We were happy here, but we started analyzing someone else's experiences or somebody else's things. And all of a sudden, now we're unsure. We're less content. We're less satisfied, right? So I think that if we just focus on, okay, the totality, and we give things time, the totality of my experiences with a place, a person, a thing, or whatever it is, and lock in. I think we're gonna, life in itself, I think the reason why we say happiness is fleeting, and it's true, because we're not gonna be happy with someone or with a particular thing on an emotional level at every second of the day. There's going to be something that makes you sad. You're a human. There's going to be something that makes you uncomfortable. Once again, you're a human. There's going to be disappointment, right? There's going to be times and situations where you say, okay, well, did I make the right decision? And then you come out of it on the other side, and you're like, okay, you know what? It's true. That was a moment. That was a moment. And now that I've come out of this moment, I realize, okay, well, maybe the bond or the connection that I have with this person, this thing, or this place is actually stronger. So overall, I'm happy. I'm happy. You know what I mean? And people can't really challenge that. You know, they can't challenge whether or not it's up to you to decide ultimately, because you can't look at me today in the midst of my turmoil and tell me I'm not happy. You caught me at a moment. But if you sit down and talk to me about the summation of my experiences with this person or this place or this thing that you've observed, I may be able to explain to you why I'm satisfied, why I'm content, why I'm happy. You know what I mean? So this is how I think about these two things.
I'll tell you what else too, just to drive that point home in terms of the journey. Like playing football growing up, like I played football since I was 6 all the way to like 21. Right. And while you in the game, you know, coach teach you, you know, the goal is the championship. Goal is to win, you know, whatever the case may be. And like that's what your happiness comes from. That's what your fulfillment comes from. And I remember I ran into a coach when I got to college, and he was, you know, asking us the irony is a question similar to this. Say, what do you love most about the game? You know, what makes you the happiest? I was like, winning. You know, just to, you know, if we can get to that championship, you know, whatever the case may be, like that's what's gonna make me happy. Like that's what I'm gonna remember most. You know, I can look back on whatever the case may be. And he looked me dead in the eyes and said, he said, when you stop playing this game, you're not gonna care about the games you won, championships, the catches you made, the stats, none of that. That's not gonna be what's important to you. It's gonna be the shit that you hate the most right now. And when he said it, I'm like, hell nah. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. And then I stopped playing, and he was dead right. The shit that I miss most was what was in that film session joking with my teammates at 8 a.m. in the morning, or in that weight room laughing at him because he can't bench what he supposed to bench, us in there cracking jokes and different shit like that, or, you know, being in the middle of the game and somebody fuck up or something and coach throw his clipboard and shit all on the, it's the small shit like that. Like you miss the guys, you miss being in the trenches and like lifting those weights and all that shit that you hate while you playing. Me personally, I used to hate lifting weights. I used to hate watching film. I used to hate all that. But now that I'm out of the game, that's what I miss most. Being around the gang and just doing all of that dirty work, because that's where the bonds came from. That's what we became one at. And that was some of the funniest and some of the funnest times ever, those bus rides to the game. shit like that. We on there, we jamming music. Oh shit, what you listening to? You ain't on shit. I got this. I got like that's what you miss. It's not the game. It's not the championships. It's not the end goal. It's the journey. So you gotta take pride in the journey, man. I tell a young dude that any day in terms of being in high school and college and shit like that, because a lot of them be like, man, I can't wait till I graduate. I can't wait till I go get that job. I'd be like, yes, you can. Slow down, and enjoy what you're doing right now, because it ain't shit waiting for you on the other side of that goal. You thinking when I get to that goal, everything else is just everything gonna be gravy. I'm good. If I could just get to this point, life don't work like that, man. And the faster you figure that out, the more years you're gonna add to your life. Take pride in the journey, man. Slow down, take that shit in. We only get one life, bro. Enjoy it.
All right, please let me throw this quick curveball. I just got it. I really want to know from Trill. What you think about the work that Deion Sanders is doing at Jackson State, and if he ain't swag, who is swag?
Man, I think it's pivotal, dog. I think he's putting a spotlight on the SWAC and just HBCUs in general that has never been on it ever in history. Like he's making HBCUs, especially sports, cool. He got the best top rappers on the sideline, the top podcasters on the sideline, the top everybody who's anybody in our culture. He bringing them right there in front of the players, and not only just having them walking the sideline, they over there talking to him like, yeah, bro, you can be great. It don't matter, like giving them gems and shit that even players at Power 5 schools don't get. So hell yeah, Deion is the swag. Deion is swagger when it comes to football. He used to look good, play good, all that. That's real. When I was playing ball, I used to make sure that I had my reflective shield on my helmet. I wanted my sleeves. I wanted one sock up, one sock down, red book, all that. Back flap hanging out, jersey flipped up just a little bit so they can see it. Like back then I had braids, so bees that match my uniforms on my back. All that shit. Deion is what swagger is. So for him to say that he ain't swag, it was egregious, man. But I think Deion doing something special, and it's gonna hurt my heart if he leave and go to a Power 5, and I know they're gonna try to throw that bag at him, But I just hope that he stay there long enough, man, to turn this shit around, because he got top recruits, top 5, top 3 recruits committing to HBCU. That is unheard of. The number 1 player in the nation commit to HBCU. That's unheard of. So, if it's that way now, you can imagine what it's going to be in 10 years.
All right, let me tell you, I don't think he's going to leave. I ain't trying to turn to Lapeef Sports, but I don't think he's going to leave, because dude already paid, and what he's already done to that school, even from the build out of the facilities, and then getting, these corporate sponsorships to pay like they weigh, like the sponsorship that they have with Under Armour, right? I think he's in his purpose. I think he's in his moment. I think he has a point to prove. The fact that him and Saban had that little tit for tat or whatever, I think he's gonna stay there, man. I think he got a point to prove, and I agree with you. He's shining a light. Even I didn't agree with Eddie Robertson Jr. Comments, but I think he's put even the spotlight back on him as the son of a great legendary HBCU coach. So, I say all that to say is, to your point, man, when we talk about young men being in a purpose and, staying in your lane and, just standing on your square and staying 10 toes down, man, I think that's ultimately what Deion is representing and helping other young men find their groove in their lane, man. So, yeah, I agree with you, bro.
He also is taking us on the journey, kind of connecting the dots, right, as it relates to not just doing the pleasure and being happy. He's like filming everything, editing everything, putting it out through social media every day, right? And then he also connects to show how dope of a father he is, right? For his sons to come to the school that he's at, the quarterback, he transferred and said, I'm finna play for my father. You know what I'm saying? that speaks highly to how he is as a father. And then it seems like what he's doing is trying to be a father to these young dudes, right? And it's really dope to see. You know, I know you're gonna ask me, but I've been watching this unfold since it started, where people didn't want this to go well for him, right? They was like, he's just doing a publicity stunt, okay, and he's just gonna be there, he's gonna be gone, right? But even if it is a publicity stunt, like he's doing a big thing for HBCUs for sure. But at where he's at, he's doing a big thing for these young men, for them to see what a father should look like, right? Like they get to see him be a dad to his sons, and then how it operates throughout the course of the facility. So he's doing more than just building the HBCU from a sports standpoint.
All right. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It's time to get to the meat of the conversation. We know the ladies like the meat. What you guys all been waiting for right now. We're going to talk about the victim mentality. The victim mentality. Go ahead and put this up real quick. Where we at? Must be too late because I don't even see this shit. There we go. The victim mentality. According to Wikipedia, go ahead and read this. The victim mentality is an acquired personality trait in which a person tends to recognize or consider themselves a victim of the negative actions of others and to behave as if this were the case in the face of contrary evidence of such circumstances. Victim mentality depends on clear thought processes and attribution. In some cases, those with a victim mentality have in fact been the victim of wrongdoing by others or have otherwise suffered misfortune through no fault of their own. However, such misfortune does not necessarily imply that one will respond to developing a persuasive and universal victim mentality, where one frequently or constantly perceives oneself to be a victim. Tonight's topic, the meat, is the victim mentality a form of trauma? Let's go ahead and break this down because the victim mentality has been used as a weapon. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but it has been used as a weapon. It's not to take away from people that are truly victims, but it's one of those areas, and we see it so often, that people abuse this victim mentality. So I ask, is this a form of trauma? Let's talk about it.
I think we started off, if y'all don't mind me starting off earlier, is that I think it's a form of self-induced trauma in most cases. I really do. Right now, I want to start my premise off by saying I don't want to discount the people who actually had people do stuff bad to them. We know these situations happen, but I said this before. None of us was given or provided with. Some were, the people I know, I'm just being honest. Some were, but the people I know weren't given a perfect platform to start this thing called life. I don't think any of us were, right? But the thing is this, especially in these current age, if we want to talk about the victim Olympics and the victim mentality, it seems like a lot of people, and I said this before, I'll say it again, they put pain on them that is not their own. People continue to hold on to these examples that somebody either told them or they learned third party and use these as excuses to not move forward and to sit in the fear that really they didn't experience. Right? And what this really does, what it really does is take away the focus of where it should be with those people who really need help, right? Who really need that counseling or that talk to or somebody to sit and Be their friend. Be a real friend to them. Right? But we see these people, male and female, right? Who continue to use events that happened prior to us. And again, we know the reasons, but still continue to use these same reasons to repeat the same cycles. So is it a form of trauma mentally? No, I think it's a form of insanity. Why do you continue to put yourself through the same pain over and over again within your own head? And this is why I keep making the point to y'all, who controls who? Do you control your mind, or do your mind controls you? Right? God gave us all the ability to be free thinkers. What are you thinking about? What are you using your brain for? Are you an empty passenger that no matter what, you ain't got no control, because once something hit your head and you got this particular mind state, you're not capable of changing it. You're a victim of your own circumstances. You're a victim of your own thoughts. And while you can beat everybody in the world, I can tell you the one person you can't beat is you. The one person you will never beat until you fix your mind state is you. You can beat yourself down. You can make yourself feel bad. You can crush your ego and your self-esteem. It is called self-esteem, right? You can crush it better than any dude you ever slept with, any woman you ever partied with or called your girl. Because it's in you. So mentally, yes, I think it's a form of mental insanity, especially if you didn't go through the shit. That's all I got.
So, a victim mentality is usually learned behavior. It's nature versus nurture. A lot of us have been nurtured into dysfunction, and we were able to see somebody in our family get away with things, whether it's a sibling or a parent, and it worked. And you start learning that the way you get away with stuff is to be a victim. And as a child, you give it a try and you see it works. It works with grandmama, it works with auntie, it works with, you go to daddy or mom or whatever, and you just act like a victim. It works. And then it turns into something that becomes a part of your way of dealing with conflict. See, some people they're going to run up on you and fuss with you and engage with you, and other people are just going to be, they're just going to pull away. And usually the person that pulls away, that the reason why it's easy for them to pull away is because they always feel like they're a victim, and it becomes their disposition, their way of life, their way of solving their own problems, because it started when they were little, they were able to get away with stuff. So now it's just learned behavior. And not gonna say most cases, but in a lot of cases, if you're dealing with a person who has this victim mentality, is a very good chance that they're either the only child or either the youngest child, because there's something called birth order psychology, where if you are a male or female, especially a male, most likely you were either cleaned up after one of your siblings cleaned up after you, or one of your siblings picked on you, and you actually did feel like a victim because you were the smallest or the youngest and you got picked on. So when you grow up, you think this is just what life is going to be. Or you're just spoiled because everybody cleaned up after you, and now you're a grown man, a grown woman, and you feel like, okay, well, this is what my life is. You're supposed to clean up after me. So we have to be cognizant of what's actually going on in our lives, so we can actually pull ourselves out of something that was probably nurtured in us by our childhood. But is it trauma? Of course, because a lot of the things that are trauma, you get hit in the head with a baseball, that's trauma. So yes, it is trauma. But to be able to go a little deeper, in my opinion, is either birth order and or learn behavior.
And I think it's a form of victim mentality is a form of laziness. That's how I feel. Most people are gonna go the path of the least resistance. It's just like growing up in the neighborhood. You know, I say it all the time. The only ways out we ever seen was refinery, sports, military, drug dealing. That was it. There were no doctors in the neighborhood, but no lawyers in the neighborhood, no scientists in the neighborhood, engineers in the neighborhood. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So with that, it's easy to just fall within that. You know what? If I can't do one of these, then shit, it just ain't meant for me to make it. But just like I say all the time, you know, we all got phones in front of us. Like, we don't have the excuse that our forefathers had 50 years ago, 60 years ago, to where they could gatekeep the information, different things like that, as far as the opportunities that are out there. Like, we got these phones that we be on 10 hours a week, the average person. What do you choose to do with that 10 hours, right? Well, I'll tell you what most people choose to do. They choose to get on social media. Choose to look at the ground. Let me look at my likes. Oh shit, damn, she got a fat ass. Let me scroll by that. Oh damn, little baby just bought a new Rolls Royce. Damn, that's crazy. Like, niggas just spend all day looking at those type of things and be in those environments that we talking about. And, you know, instead of doing research, instead of figuring out like, hey, what are the top, you know, ways that I can make money with no degree? Or if I do go to school, what's the highest paid professions in school in terms of the degree that I should be shooting at? Those are 10-second Google searches. And Google, the irony is that now Google got free certification for a lot of things that can get you paid over $50,000 to $60,000 a year. Take you literally 20 seconds to research, right? But if you have victim mentality, that's a form of laziness, right? Like, I don't feel like doing that research. I would much rather blame the system. I'd much rather blame slavery. I'd much rather blame redlining. I'd much rather blame all of these different things for my circumstances. Like, fuck the people who made it out, even though, you know, because every hood got them, right? There's one or two people that just went away that none of us ever imagined. Like, damn, he a neuroscientist? That's crazy. He came from the same circumstances we did. The difference was he wasn't lazy. And a lot of times those people come from worse situations than we did. We might have had one parent at the crib. We thinking, damn, I got it rough. This man had no parents at the crib. He's sleeping on couches to go to high school so he can graduate with decent grades so he can have a chance to go to college. So again, it's always somebody doing worse than you. And that's how I look at things. Like, I could never blame somebody else for results that I had control over. That's not how I'm cut. If there's a way to figure it out, I'm going to figure it out. But that takes not being lazy. That takes being resourceful, because all of the information is in front of us. And even if we don't necessarily know what we Googling, or they got YouTube. It's a beautiful invention called YouTube. But you can start a business right there in your living room. You don't even have to leave the hood. They got people in the hood, got wig businesses, nail businesses, MUAs, niggas selling t-shirts, all type of stuff, and making good money doing it. Or building you a YouTube channel, you can make quick $1,500 on average, $1,000, $1,500 a month on YouTube. Most people I'm talking about. You ain't gotta have no big ass following or nothing like that, but just consistency on there, you can make money that way. Like, it's so many different ways to win. But people with victim mentality, they focus on the ways to lose and they rest in that. It's just like playing ball back in the day. Like, if you remember, like, it's, you know, it's a couple people that went to the league, and everybody who didn't, they got an excuse for you. Oh man, my knee, man. I was top recruit. I was all state, you know, to messed up my knee, my ankle, man. I just Every excuse in the world. No, that ain't the reason. The reason was your ass wasn't in that weight room when you were supposed to be. The reason was you wanted to run the streets before the games. The reason was you had no work ethic. You had talent, you had skill set, but you had no discipline. That's what the real reason is. But that would require looking in the mirror and doing work that, lazy people don't do. So that's how I view victim mentality. It's a form of laziness. Because whatever scenario that you give me as to the reason why you didn't make it, I could point you to somebody who had a worse situation and made it anyway. And as long as that's the case, you have no excuse. That's how I look at life.
That's good stuff, man. Like, doing my research, like I was one of the things that I studied. Well, the thing that I studied was Black entrepreneurs and how they can sustain their business. And what I saw or come to understand that the reason why Black businesses fail at the fastest rate of any other ethnicity is because of mindset. Like it was because they would quit because there was a difficult obstacle that they didn't know how to overcome. But the people that were sustainable beyond 5 years, they had the number one thing was that they knew that they had a why in which where they're trying to go, and they had a plan of how they're going to get there, and they figured out the resources of how to get to there as it relates to money. One guy that I interviewed, he had lost his mom, so he had to be raised by somebody else. He was a drug dealer. He dropped out of school. Now his earning is multi-millions in real estate. Okay. Other individuals I talked to, it was a similar pattern. It was really about a mindset. So the victim mentality, as y'all already alluded to, it is a mindset that says somebody is preventing me from getting to where it is that I'm saying that I want to go. Well, in current age, there is nobody preventing you from getting to where you want to go, right? And specifically, I would talk to the Black people that would say, well, the white man is keeping me down, or this job situation, like they don't understand me, right? So I gotta be here. No, you don't have to be anywhere you don't want to be, right? You make things happen. One of the things that most in the research again that most Black people don't have is mentors. Black people try to do it by themselves. They don't put a team together to say, you know what, I don't know everything, so let me go find out somebody that has done it before, as opposed to they would rather, not all, but most would rather say, you know what, I can't get it done because of somebody else didn't do something for me, right? When in actuality, it is about you for sure. Like the only person that I think Ricky said it, you are going against yourself. If you understand that the mind is an incredible muscle, right? It's one of your strongest muscles. And if you work it out by reading, by connecting with people that already want to grow like you, watching YouTube University, and the likes, right? I mean, even getting in groups in Facebook, that are productive, you know what I'm saying? Love Lapeef Network group, you know what I'm saying? But that should be kind of like for entertainment purposes. It shouldn't be where you live, right? Okay. You should be getting into these real estate groups. You should be getting into, if there's somebody that, that sells t-shirts, you need to get into those type of Facebook groups. Mr. Earl Graves, who the founder of Black Enterprise, said that was one of the one of the reasons why, not one of the reasons, but Black people specifically spend so much time utilizing social media to be social as opposed to be entrepreneurs and business owners, right? And Black people are the most of any ethnicity, I think, I have to go back and look at it again, that use social media just to be social, as a relate, instead of connecting with other individuals, like what we're doing here. Like we have, all of us had a platform coming here just about, but then what do? We network here, and then Lapeef got us to network at another event, and then we built a friendship, and then we mentally challenge each other. I went to go look at Trill, me and his interview, And he was like, you know what, bro? Like, kind of listening to you doing this fatherhood thing made me want to kind of think outside and do some fatherhood things. And then knowing Ricky, I get to go look at boxing. Like, I wasn't into boxing, but because he is, now I'm like, okay, I want to go watch and see what he got going on. My son now wants to box. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all together, I'm saying this: the victim mentality occurs, like Lego said, how you're raised. That's true. However, you got to get to a point that says, listen, no matter how I was raised will not determine how I'm going to get to where I'm going to get to. I was raised by a single mother. I was the oldest of 3. I had to go get my brother and sister from school. You know, I had to get loans to pay for college, right? I lost my wife, right? You know what I'm saying? It's it's all the things I could have said, I'm going to just bow out, right? But that's not my mindset. My mindset is that I at the end of the day, I want to have a legacy that my kids can say, you know what? Look at what my dad did. I like what he and love what he did, and I want to do that or even greater. So it's a mindset, and it is a form of trauma, and we got to stop perpetuating the excuses. There is no excuse, and there's nothing that's stopping you from being great and successful in whatever it is that you want to endeavor. That's my take.
All right, anybody else want to chime in on this? Is the victim mentality a form of trauma?
Real, you want to cook first, or
Either way, brother, I can go or you can go.
okay? Let me try to shorten it a little bit more for Humble Dad.
Well, your short was pretty long last time, so
I know. I gave you the Creed 3 trailer. It's coming out right now. I'm gonna give you the Nas and Hit Boy King Disease 3. Okay, trailer. The victim mentality is a form of trauma. Trauma comes from what you actually experience. Let me just say this, because this is King Talker. We predominantly talk to men, me in particular. I like talking to the young black men that's in the audience. Hey, bro, nobody cares. Ain't nobody coming to save you. That's it. That's what I got for you. Nobody's coming to save you. I love you. I care for you. I believe in you. Man, if you reach out to me, I'm going to make my way in the figure 8 to help you as best I can, bro. But by and large, man, my grandma told me early. Like most of our elders told us, I believe everybody on the panel has heard this at least once, and most of y'all in the audience. You got to work twice as hard to get half as much as what they got. Nobody cares, bro. Don't nobody care about your sob story. Don't nobody care that your daddy wasn't there, that your mama was on crack, or your mama was a hoe, your daddy was a pimp. The school teacher said you wasn't going to be sugar, honey, iced tea. Nobody cares. Do it anyway. Get out there and get it anyway. And stop looking at these entertainers who are only there to entertain you. Man, I'm desperately Humble Dad. I'm desperately looking for this clip with Dick Gregory in this interview. This is in the 60s, and they asked him about like Lena Horne, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, and they was asking him like something about the civil rights movement and what was his thoughts on them as entertainers, having a voice and leading, doing all this, that, and the third. And he said, why are we looking at entertainers for inspirations? They entertainers. They here to entertain. That's what they supposed to do. I'm desperately looking for this video on YouTube again. I swear if I find, I'm putting it in Jay, I'm gonna put it in the group, in the Facebook group. But I ain't gonna say we the only ones. I hate doing that. Yo, I'm not gonna say we the only ones that do that, but I'm just saying based on my experience, man, the hip hop that I came up on, Let Go and that doggone Ricky, y'all will probably remember when the rappers was spitting the 5% knowledge, you heard things like I self Lord and Master. Now we knew it stood for Islam, but it was really saying be a disciplined individual. It was really saying, go and seek self, go and find out about yourself, go do the knowledge. It had people wanting to read. Now, man, we so influenced by so many mediocre things, bro. And at the end of the day, the victim mentality says it's everybody else's fault and responsibility but yours. You have no accountability. You ain't played no part in it. You just happen to end up here. Hey, man, don't nobody care that my mom had me at 16, bro, and that she wasn't with my dad whole time. Don't nobody care that my dad died, but before I only seen him on one hand. I can count on one hand how many times I seen my dad. Don't nobody care about that. None of y'all niggas care about that. I can't come and cry to y'all about that. I can't cry to my girl about that. She loved me. Nobody cares, bro. So your best bet is to coalesce with alikes, figure out what you could build on, and build. Build. That's what you do, black man. Build. That's all I got. Go ahead, Rio. My bad, bro.
Yeah, I believe that the conditions that we experience can be traumatic. It can inhibit our growth and can cause us to be at a disadvantage. However, like Rilla just mentioned, the world doesn't care why we are at a disadvantage. The world just expects you to show up as the best version of yourself and contribute something valuable. I mean, if you can't do that, mention of your disadvantage will just come off as an excuse. So even better, I'll even say it may be a symptom of an individual who lacks accountability, because even if you're at a disadvantage, you're almost expected to have preparation, and whatever that preparation requires to catch you up to speed or to level you up, so to speak. I think Trill even mentioned this. You have to do the work. So the preparation in combination with the work should essentially set you up for the task. But you can't just walk in and say, hey, I'm not the best man for the job, but you should select me. And this is why, because I come from this background. And if you don't, then I feel as though you have some sort of bias against me, right? Not saying bias don't exist, because they do. But we got to be accountable to know that enough to say, hey, you know what? I covered all of the bases. I'm highly trained, certified, experienced. I communicate well. My resume speaks volumes. Why wasn't I selected? And then maybe we can address that. But if in fact we just weren't qualified, then we got to be accountable for why. It doesn't matter that you didn't have the same opportunities to someone who's looking for the best person for the job. They don't care. Right? So if you know you're at a disadvantage, you know you got more work to do. Sometimes even if you know you're equal, you know that there's bias, you know you got double work to do. Really even mention that. The fact of the matter is, we talk about accountability all the time. At the end of the day, we got to look in the mirror before we look at everybody else. And chances are the victim mentality means that we think the world is against us. That means that we're experiencing, we're encountering something time and time again, not just by the same person. And if you're getting the same result from different people and in different situations, 9 times out of 10, it seems to me that you are the common denominator. So then, how do we handle that? Do we change nothing and just say, oh my God, it's just, I can't catch a break? Or do we say, you know what? I'm inadequate in some capacity, or maybe there's something I'm not recognizing, or maybe I need to get a second opinion, or maybe I need to be evaluated. Whatever it may be, we can't afford to have the victim mentality, especially as men. That's all I got.
I tell y'all what, man. Like we don't realize how much time and energy and effort that we waste on trying to shine. You got to be willing to get dirty for this shit, man. And that's what a lot of people is not willing to do. Like they're not willing to stop going to the club and getting that section for 6 months to build up what it is that I'm trying to build. They're not willing to get that pay raise and keep the same standard of living that I'm doing right now. But instead, I got the pay raise and we'll get a new car. Got a pay raise and we'll get some more furniture. Pay raise, let's go book a trip. $5,000 trip, whatever, expensive trip that's going to set us right back.
But they're putting that on credit though.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, man, you gotta be willing to get dirty for this shit. And this, I was watching a documentary on Freeway Rick, and he was speaking to that. People, they was asking, it's like, damn, bro, you was making like $3 million a day at one point. Like, why didn't you go get a Benz or no car like that? He said I never cared about that shit. The only thing I ever cared about was making money. He said, shit, I started from an 8 ball. And got all the way up to where I got to. You know what I'm saying? To whereas when I sold my pack, I went to re-up. Other people re-up and they'll go buy clothes. They'll go buy Jordans. Or they'll go buy shoes. I re-up and put my shit right back into the business. Work my way up to that eighth, to that quarter, to that whole, to that all the way up until where I began supplying the motherfuckers that gave me the 8 ball. Because I had the discipline to get dirty. I wasn't worried about shining. I pull up to the club in a Toyota Pinto. Nobody knows me. I ain't shaved. I ain't got on no designer shit. I ain't got nothing. Because I'm walking in this club and I got more money than everybody in here combined. But the difference is he was willing to get dirty for it. We have a bad habit of wanting to shine even before we even get it. I done seen people go on interviews, get a job, and then when they sign their offer letter, they already spending like that's their current salary. Nigga be like, oh, I deserve this new car. I work hard. I deserve this Gucci belt. I work hard. Literally, like, trick your mind into believing that you can't live without this shit. When just 5 years straight before this, you was living on $1,000 every 2 weeks. Now all of a sudden, $2,500 ain't enough. And that's a us problem. To whereas other cultures, when they was building their wealth, they wasn't worried about that shit. I know Spanish people live 10 to a house, 2 bedrooms. These is grown people. Getting up, going to work every day. We got 3 cars. God damn it, we carpooling. I'm dropping you to work, dropping her to work. I'm going to work. Who get off first? Okay, you get off first. You the last one drop. So you come and pick us up. Like, it's that shit. We gonna get dirty for a minute to build what it is that we need to build. And then once we build what we trying to build, then we can shine. But we want to do it in reverse and then use the system or the man as an excuse for us not getting where we want to go. That ain't true. It's not. And I be having to catch myself sometimes because I do that shit too. Have a great month or whatever and extra money coming. Hey, baby, let's go to Mexico for the week or, Cancun or goddamn Dubai or something like that. And then I catch myself like, this money be better spent. Let me just tuck this, keep grinding and keep on stacking until I get to where I'm actually trying to get to. So I think if more of us had that mindset, then we would get rid of that victim mentality. The fact is, the hole that we are in, we have way more control over that than we are willing to admit to. And until we accept that and implement changes to that, we gonna keep running on that fucking mouse wheel, going nowhere.
Hey, Trill, you in H-Town, man. How many other content creators willing to come to the table and build with what you got going on over there? Okay, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer. Because this is what I'm going to say. Because I even want to kick the dough in on some of these victim mentality content creator having ass niggas, man. Sorry, JR. Man, we could be so much further along in this space if y'all paid attention. Humble Dad alluded to it earlier. If you paid attention to what JR and Trill do, right? Man, fuck it. Let me kick the dough in. If you look at when JR talks about Trill, JR said, man, I was watching a movement, this, that, and the third, whoop-de-whoop, blah, 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 and I reached out to bro and we connected. We had some AI-like similarities and we started to build and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Then it was at one point from a subscriber view and from a visibility view, Lapeef Network was working and outpacing Crew Season for the time that it was. And then you look at Crew Season, them boys keep their head down, they put in the work, they do, and the same thing with Let Go. The funniest thing with Let Go, you at 200 plus, right, on YouTube? Yeah, you are. And the thing of it is, what you see is brothers getting up here collabing, like Humble Dad was saying. You got brothers up here literally coming together to coalesce around the things that we agree on. Nobody's saying I'm a victim or I can't get to where I need to get to on the YouTube space because this person is holding me back. Nobody's holding anybody back, man. Everybody's building together. Everybody's leveraging each other to further along. You look at the Crew Season boys, them boys over there on TikTok. I think the last I checked, y'all, and I ain't even on TikTok. I think y'all 300,000 deep on TikTok, 300,000 plus, and then upwards of 120 almost on YouTube. Now, I get it. YouTube subscribers don't mean everything. Granted, the point being is to build, and not have a victim mentality. Oh, this person won't let me up on their platform. They won't let me talk and get my point out. I just want to say a couple things. Let me just say what I want to say. Please. Man, yo, fam, if they won't let you over on their platform, go build your own. This is what John H. Johnson did with Ebony and Jet. I don't know who just mentioned Earl Graves. That's what Earl Graves did with Black Enterprise. Right? So this is the whole thing around that victim mentality. Is time out for that, fam. We don't have the time for that. We ain't nowhere near in position to be talking about victim mentality. And to Trill's point, we dang sure ain't in no position where when you get the bread, fair enough, Emmy, fair enough. I ain't gonna even try and pronounce your name. I sound like Logic trying to pronounce your name. But the point being is that in this space, the things that we ain't got to agree on everything. I don't agree with these brothers always on everything that they saying, man. But the things that we can agree on, man, and especially if it's helping, again, my passion is for young Black men, especially the things that can help the young Black men. Those are things that I'm always going to support these brothers around. Tuesday is always going to be my favorite day of the week to jump on YouTube, talk slicks, and swallow spit. You dig what I'm saying? And it's time out for the victim mentality. It's nobody's fault. You are the what is the statement? It's like I'm the captain and master of my fate or something like that. I mean, Shan knows it better than me, but y'all understand what I'm saying, fam. Like real talk. Pay attention to the blueprints that's in front of you. JR, Humble Dad, Trill, Ricky, Let Go, Rio, all of them are mentoring y'all without y'all even really realizing it. Please call and book these brothers for consultations, but if you just pay attention to the movement, peel back some layers, right? You could pick up the gems and the jewelry, man. And then we here every Tuesday giving gems for free. All we asking for is likes. That's all I got, JR. My bad, man. I'm on 1. I'm on 10, bro. I'm amped up.
Anybody else? Ricky? Trail, y'all good? Okay. All right. Uncle Stepdaddy, 1 minute. Let's go. What's going on, bro?
Oh, I'm good, brother. How y'all brothers doing tonight?
All right. What it do?
You good?
Oh man, I'm stupendous. I just watched the Lakers get bashed just now, so I'm stupendous, man. Oh my god! But to the step on that point, what y'all were talking about, I'm gonna try to keep it brief, y'all. I feel like all the fellas are right. I think that this is what I'm about to say. I'm probably gonna get beat down for it, but oh well. I think that's a disease that our people have, is the victim mentality. We have a terrible disease of that. And instead of looking, like, I forgot one of the guys said, like, instead of looking in the mirror, you have to look, you know what I'm saying, they want to point the finger at everybody, they'll blame the man. This is the reason you can't, like my homeboy always say, you got to stop blaming the white, not the white, but the white man. That's how I go to it every time. I want to blame the white women. You got to see these platforms like such as you are, like, yeah, if y'all can go in there and get in the lab, put pen to paper and figure out what you got to do to get better, everybody else can do it too. What's their issue? What's their problem? And anything is going to always be a process, you know. And like with me, I have a security business. I've been thinking about it for years. My dad is one who put the fire into my ass when I left Mississippi and came to Texas. I'm out here in H-Town too. So when I did that, I was like, you know what? He was like, Junior, you need to go and get you a security company since you've been doing it for so long. I'm like, Pops, you know what? I think that's what I'm gonna do. And that's what happened during the pandemic. I did. I put pen to paper. I was like, you know what? I want to do this and I want to work for myself. Here it is 2 years later. I'm getting little contracts here and now. I'm starting to build it up. I know that I can't go do, and like Trill said, spend money that I don't have already. I have to continue to doing the things that when I was broke. Now that I'm making just a few more pennies, 2 or 3 more pennies more, I got to continue to move just like I was broke. So with that mentality, you know what I'm saying, that's why I say when anything doesn't go the way I want it, I'm not going to blame anybody else. Now I got to keep putting boots to grind and getting better. And I think when it comes to that, I hear a lot of the victim stuff when it comes to women, and especially our women. You know what I'm saying? Just like this that happened Thursday night, man. Like JR, man, I watched that whole live y'all had Thursday night, man. That kind of broke my heart, because I'm like, when old girl got on here and said that she felt like she was set up, victim mentality. Pure D 100%. Because you were getting blew out the water with mentality, and she was just throwing facts at you. She didn't disrespect you at any point. Just giving you straight facts. And you said at the end on you all's platform and disrespected you all and saying that she was set up, when in actuality, y'all didn't do that. Y'all ain't never said nobody up like that, because y'all some good people. But to end this, I think that we have to get together and do better with that when it comes to, especially when not just with the ladies, but with the men too. We have to stop thinking everything is a competition and help each other. Crabs in a barrel, it's too much of that. We have to start getting better at that. Look, I want to help this brother. I got this over here. Let me get him. I got a whole lot of bread and fish over here. Let me give this to that brother, since he doesn't have that. That's my mentality with everything. I want to see the next man do great. Sometimes I want to see him do it better than me. Man, ain't no sometimes, to it, all the time, because that can help. Just like with other ethnicities, they just like old dude said it'd be 10 of them in a 2-bedroom house. Why we can't do that? Because we get tired of each other after a while. Like, you know what? Nah, I'm doing it. Go find, you gotta find somewhere to go. 2 weeks, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks maximum. But the Hispanic community can have their whole family in there. We make fun of them saying they packed in like a bunch of sardines, but they're doing it to build wealth, to help each other. That's the reason why when I came to Texas, I see a lot of them buying everything off the lot. They don't pay for everything cash. We up here still leasing and paying stuff every week because we don't want to help each other.
Yeah.
And real quick, not to cut you off,
Go ahead.
multiple businesses within the household.
Exactly.
That's the key. We'll continue.
Exactly. And the thing about it, and we rag and we joke about it, because me and my friends, my homeboy, we joke about it. But the thing about it with the men there, if it be a bunch of families in there, they all work business, whether it's landscaping, contracting, anything. And the women stay home, take care of the kids, and they have the quote unquote assistants or whatever, but they look out for each other. It's 2 or 3 women in the house that get probably maybe $400 or $500, $600 worth of food stamps a piece, and they look out for each other. Not only just the ones in the house, but the other families on the block.
All right, Uncle Stepdaddy. So this is what I like to do. I like to move towards solutions, because we have these conversations. And we talk a lot about what the issues are. We know that. We know it's a crab in the barrel.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So my thing is, when I look at 50 Cent talking about how he hatched an idea or a business plan for his son who was in the sneakers to be able to sell sneakers, and gave him free inventory, right? is the people. I hit JR if I see something new, especially somebody that dropped something from the crib. I hit JR like, hey, this coming out or whatever. Woo. What's stopping? So here's my thing: the things that we can again coalesce around, the things that we agree on, and we can move around that. So because we're not a monolith, right? We don't all black people don't all see the same, agree, and look the same, and all this and the third whoopty woo, right? So even something as simple as sneakers or fit. I see one dude here at the crib making a killing off of designing fitteds hats. Like I see him making a killing. So what's stopping us? I got a homeboy that made 70,000 1 year for reselling Jordans. Just reselling Jordans. Like he ain't have a whole size run. And if you look at the resale game, you see a lot of people, we control the culture, we dictate what's hot and what's cool, but we don't benefit off of none of it. So the thing, this is my point. I don't care if you GD, BD, Crip, Blood, whatever your affiliation is, what's stopping us? Because they like sneakers too, JR. What's stopping us from getting together on the things that we can agree on and create business opportunities, right? Because you ain't even got to have a brick and mortar now to sell sneakers. You could be online selling sneakers. You ain't got to have brick and mortar to sell fitteds or dope jackets or crew season apparel or Lapeef apparel or Humble Dad apparel. You can do that online. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like we got to move to solutions. What can we coalesce around and start building around that, as opposed to, man, we just attack each other. It's crabs in the barrel. We tear each other down. Man, we got to figure out what we can agree on and move in that direction.
I think we got to look at history.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's way more power in alliances than making enemies. Tell people that all the time. It's way more power. But, you know, again, we see it as really you starting that shoe business and thriving. That's an indictment on me because it holds a mirror up to what I'm not doing.
Yeah.
Not only that, I may have had interest in shoes, whatever the case may be, but now, you know, people are going to look at me like the little man if I come into it. Or even if I reach out and I hang around you, people going to look at me like I'm the little man, like I'm little bro. So that right there creates tension where there is none. Like I didn't see situations to where you asked me about this content creation in Houston. I say it all the time. I say Houston is a city that everybody comes to, rappers, basketball players, entertainers, whatever the case may be. There should be a hub here for content creation. Like there's no excuse for it to. Like we shouldn't have to go to New York to do a media circuit. We shouldn't have to go to LA to pitch, you know, deals or whatever for, you know, TV shows and different things like that, which is things that me and the boys have done. And when we got all this talent right here, all these attractive women right here, all this nightlife right here. But for some reason, like I said, just like we talk about that crab in a barrel mentality, like that's literally how we see it. Dudes see somebody winning and be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I see him, but I ain't gonna reach out and show him no love or nothing like that. I'm gonna stay back a little bit because I don't want to, you know, make it look like I'm riding niggas or nothing like that, or like I'm, you know, whatever. And you may love what they do. You may respect the hell out of it. But niggas won't even give you so much as a salute under your picture when you accomplish some shit, let alone reaching out to work together. So I think in terms of actionable items, man, we have to look at history. Like what brings people the most success? And that's creating alliances. Why? Because if me and you link, when you rise, I rise. It may not be as much as you rise, but it's higher than where I was. Right. So which gives me more opportunity, and I may be able to finagle a little something on the side that may allow me to climb up a little bit higher and eventually get to your level or surpass you one day. And again, not in a malicious way, because even if I surpass you, we're gonna still maintain the alliance. So if I surpass you and I keep climbing, guess what? You do too. And that's how other cultures think. We don't think like that. We think it can only be one of us at a time. Whether it's in comedy, it can only be one comedian at a time. What happened when Kevin Hart started killing shit, like became the number one? Everybody tearing him down. Oh, he ain't that funny. Y'all laughing at that? Like he PC. He Bill Cosby is like he ain't real. He don't come from the. Why? Why not again create an alliance with bro? You see he climbing up fast. It will behoove you to show him some love. You ain't even got to reach out and like with your palms up, but just salute him and keep it pushing. Because you never know when he in these big ass meetings and rooms with these people who can make or break your career. If this man done show me love and I know he talented, and they say, well, okay, Kev, man, we gonna give you this budget for a movie, big dog. We gonna let you shotgun it, let you call it however you want to do it. If you got some comedians in mind you want to put in there, we gonna pay for it. He gonna immediately think about, well, damn, Rilla was showing me love in that Breakfast Club interview. He didn't even have to do that. So you know what? Let me call Rilla because I know he funny as hell and he'll be good for this role. But if you go on your interview on your platform and say, oh, he ain't that funny, he trash, he ain't yeah. So now when he in this big multi-million-dollar meeting, your name is not coming up. And then not only that, but the wild shit is that those same comedians call him a gatekeeper for doing that. Oh, he blocking. He blackballing me. He ain't putting no word in for me. But that's because you hating. And that's what a lot of us do. Even in this podcast space, I see it all the time. JR done built this shit up to the pinnacle. I see people throw shots every day on YouTube. Every single day. And on Instagram and all type of shit. And I just I be sitting back and I be looking at it, shaking my head. I don't really comment on it. I was raised, beef that ain't got shit to do with me. You stay out the way of. That's just how real ones move, whatever. But I be watching it. But you never see JR come out here and talk bad about nobody. You never see JR even come out here and reference other motherfuckers' platforms. But you got all these people that's just taking shots, strictly because he winning. And that's the problem. When what they should be doing is reach out to bro because he's open to it. Clearly, he done brought all of us together on all these different shows and platforms and shit that he done put together. Reach out to bro. Hey, bro, let's link. Let's work. Now you have an alliance instead of an enemy. So now you done created enemies. So now, like I said, JR to keep building this shit. We keep building our shit. Everybody building their shit. We get to a level to where, the network get picked up, signed by Apple or signed by Spotify. JR, man, we gonna give you this budget. You know what I'm saying? If you know some other YouTube platforms, some podcasts, whatever the case may be, it's on you, gang. We gonna budget it. Bring them in. Now you're not gonna get a call because you wanted to hate. When in reality, you ain't really got nothing against him for real because you ain't never met him. You ain't never talked to him. You ain't never had a conversation. He ain't never said nothing left about you, but literally created tension out of thin air.
Preach, nigga.
And now that's crippling you. So, that's the issue, man. Like, we got to realize, and I'm going to just wrap this up here. It's way more strength in alliances than enemies. We ain't got to agree on everything. But if we can find some kind of common moral ground, it's no excuse why we shouldn't be able to work together and build each other in our own respective fields. And if we realize that, if that shit click like it's supposed to one day, they ain't going to be able to do nothing with us, bro, as a culture.
Yeah, I just want to add this and then I'm gonna leave it alone, right? I think, and I agree with everything y'all saying, but that will require us to trust each other. Right? If we want to break it down to the core value of it, niggas don't trust other niggas, bro. And we have no reason to accept the shit you went through with somebody who ain't the person there in front of you. Like, we gotta believe in each other, bruh. We gotta learn to believe in each other. We believe in everybody else. We believe that everybody's better than us except our own. That shit wows me out, bruh. Right? We gotta realize that it's not about money all the goddamn time. Right? It's not about money all the goddamn time. I do this not for no doubt. I do it to show y'all that brothers can sit up here and collab and watch each other's back Be there for each other with no bullshit attached, bro. With no bullshit attached, bro. It's possible. That's what y'all need to understand. We need to start understanding, right? That these possibilities are real. They're real. We just got to let go of this shit that we've been taught. I keep trying to tell y'all the shit we was taught is a goddamn lie, bruh. It's a fucking lie. We all need each other, bruh. These networks is nothing without y'all, right? We ain't nothing with this network ain't nothing without the talent. It was nothing until it became a brainchild of JR. We need each other to get to the next level, bruh. It's too, y'all, we too attached to this independent shit when we should be interdependent, bruh. If I got something and I have a skill that I have, bro, we got to start looking at the bigger picture to make shit happen down the line. Stop living for today, bruh. Stop living, enjoy today, but we need to stop living for today. Stop chasing these fucking Fridays and Saturdays and popping bottles and fucking all this other bullshit, bro. We got to start building something. We're lost people within a nation. Everybody else in this country got a nation they can attach to but us. So we got to build that shit. But that will require us to trust each other, bruh, to understand it ain't no backbiting, to understand that because we have a difference of opinion, that's not hate. We just see shit differently. And if don't nobody else tell y'all, I got y'all, dog. I got you. I do it because somebody got to show these people that it's fucking people out here, bruh, that will help you with no ill intent. That's what leaders do. That's all I got, man.
I was gonna tell. I don't know if he's in the back. I'll let him know. But anybody that's watching, a good if you're a business owner, a good place to help you build inside your community is get with your local chamber of commerce. And it doesn't have to be Black Chamber of Commerce either. Just for the record, they do have those everywhere, and you can join multiple ones. But that's a really good resource for you.
Yeah, I want to tip my hat to Uncle Stepdaddy for coming on, and mentioning the importance of us uplifting each other. So I think that sparked an important conversation. And I then began to think about how can we do that right here in this community, as well as building our networks. I think people who consistently come to the show, they not only become known by us, but also to other people in the chat. So I think there's opportunity there to, if you have a particular skill set, why not share that with the community that you come into week after week? Because ultimately we want you to succeed, just like we want each other to succeed. And if there's opportunities for us to network and work with each other, why not? Like if you're an attorney, drop that information in the chat. If you are a financial advisor, drop that information in the chat. Business consultants, loan officers, accountants, whatever you do, make sure that you let that be known, or otherwise we don't know. And then we go and we inquire with someone else and bypass you. Meanwhile, we see you every week. You know what I mean? That being said, I mean, even when you look on this panel, every man in this on this panel does something besides what we're doing right now. They all have something to offer I've seen, heck, if you follow Ricky, you know he DJs weddings. I've seen him and really in the back before we even go live, going back and forth, and they go crazy on this music stuff. Like, I'm telling you, like, no exaggeration, they go crazy with it. You know what I mean? All of us spend a lot of money in different stores. Trill comes on here with I know everybody noticed the Crew Season bomber jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that everybody on here, and I'm sure in the chat would also rock. Why not buy one? You know what I mean? I was surprised to see that, you know, it's not this that JR spends a lot of time on this network, but then I'll still come across his story and see that he does a whole bunch of other things at the same time too. The brother, am I correct in saying, a musician? He's been dabbling in the photography. I do the photography. Mr. Let Go does the counseling. You know, it's like there's Humble Dad on his podcast giving fatherhood advice. There's a lot to be offered by every single person that's on his channel right now. If we don't say anything, then we bypass all of that. So if we want to build up the community, build up that network, let's start circulating that dollar amongst ourselves. Let's start, you know, consulting with one another, because from what I see and from what I hear and from what I read, it seems as though we all have some sort of expertise. And with that can be powerful. We could just exchange information amongst each other. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Hey, Rio, I'm gonna throw Trill under the bus right now. I think Trill is CPA. I'm finna form my LLC. I need the CPA services, Trill.
Come on, Trill, come through, bro.
Come on with the CPA services, Trill.
Look here, man. My expertise is oil and gas. I'm not, personal. I'd like to do a little research, but my expertise is oil and gas. But I see it's funny trying to throw me under the bus.
Yeah.
Told y'all I'm on one tonight, man. I love y'all niggas.
You have been, bro. You've been trolling like all night. Even
niggas,
in the back. Listen, bro. I'm gonna get you. Just
Hold on, Mr. Let Go. You trying to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to what y'all are saying. One of the things that I do that a lot of people may not know, I help people grow on YouTube. Also, I have a coaching group for women, and I also have a coaching group that helps people grow on YouTube. I just got to 100 million views tonight while I've been on the show. So it was like 99 something like during the day.
Yeah, real rock. Congrats, bro. That's big shit.
Congratulations, homie.
Look at Let Go with the flex.
But yeah, it's fun just working with people on YouTube and helping them grow and helping it's some people out there that y'all probably watch in my coaching group, and you know what I'm saying? So it's great just seeing, me help people do their thing or whatever and establish their stuff. So yeah, I love helping people. So I totally agree with all what y'all saying.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate all the kind words from tonight. Somebody asked in the chat, does he even talk? Yeah, I talk. I mean, the people that talk to me know I talk. It's kind of crazy, and I'm going to keep it real brief, that when I started all of this, just where I started from and where it is now, I think it's a huge accomplishment. I don't think people in this space realize how much, and I'm going to have to brag about how much I connected everybody. One of the things that happened very early on is that it started off small, right? And it was supposed to be an all man show. Like the Lapeef Let's Talk was supposed to be an all man show. It started off on audio, and then I tried to dabble a little bit in video. And then it started within a Facebook group. I went live in the Facebook group, and then I transitioned to YouTube. Then I was unaware about the space. All I wanted to do was just create. I just wanted to create. And by me being quiet all the time, by me being this introvert, I like to challenge myself, I like to put myself in the fire. So I say, you know what, I'm gonna start a podcast. I'm gonna stop being quiet. I'm just gonna put myself out there, because when I had conversations like 101 amongst a smaller group, I just be talking. Sometimes I talk too damn much. I'm like, let me shut up because I'm rambling. But you guys don't get a chance to really see that, because I'm always giving opportunity for everybody else to be able to speak, and I just do the dirty work behind the scenes, right? So everybody that, mostly, I'm gonna say 99.9% everybody that you've seen, I've brought them here. I've actively scouted people. Like, I brought Island Girl Q and Kayla in at the same time. I scouted them on Clubhouse. I met Anton along the way, through like social media. We talked, he seen what I had going on, and me and him connected. I brought him on, and I just kept bringing them on, right? All the Tawanas, like the B-Nix. B-Nix was my right-hand man. And once everything started to blow, he said, man, it's too much attention. He said, man, I was only here for you. And the one thing that he always told me was that, JR, you're going to be straight. You've done it already. You can do it again. And B-Nix was right. I kept duplicating it over and over and over again. And even when people think that they going to count me out, I don't never give up, because I never count myself out. The reason why multiple shows came to the network was because people would always try to get me to change the Lapeef Let's Talk show. And I said, you know what? I'm going to create a network. And when I got the logo made, had my mans draw it up. And I said, I'm going to give other people shows that they can like, since they don't like the Lapeef Let's Talk show. And that's how the whole network thing came about, was because I didn't want to change what I was doing. I can tweak a little bit, but I didn't want to alter change. I really didn't want to bring a woman on there. It started off with one woman, then I kept bringing women on there. I brought Courtney Michelle onto the show. I brought Kay onto the show. Kay brother was on the show before then. Just everybody, even people that you see have blown up, they came and tapped in a little bit, got visibility, and then they just left. Because there are some people, the same conversations that Trill see and hear, I see them. I may not say much, but I'm always watching. I'm always observing. So I see when people come in and they got their time and then they bounce. Or they may say negative things about the network, or even say negative things about me. But I don't have time to go back and forth with people, but that's not my purpose. My main purpose is, regardless of what other people are doing, I'm going to keep creating. Am I the most perfect leader or man? No, but I'm in constant growth mode. So I'm only going to get better. I appreciate all experiences that has come from the network, because it helped me be the man that I am. And it's helped me to continue to grow to be even better. Like, nobody's going to stop what I'm going to do in this world. I'm going to keep producing. I'm going to only keep getting better. I'm going to keep getting in my bag. I don't give a damn about money, because I often hear that being loosely said, that I do this shit for money. I was never a broke motherfucker. I'm going to tell you that shit now. YouTube didn't make me rich. I'm not rich. I'm a regular motherfucker like everybody else. I'm regular. I am not rich. I don't claim to be rich. I'm me. I have so many things that I face just like everybody else. I got a life outside of here that I have to live. So I just want you guys to understand that this whole thing was a process. I didn't know if the shit was going to hit, but I just kept being consistent. I kept working. And like Trill say, I don't like creating enemies. I don't want to walk around knowing somebody hate me. But it still amazes me that people can hate me when they don't even know me. Never had a conversation with me. Or they run with the crowd and somebody else say something, and then now they have that same outlook on me. If you want to get to know me, talk to me. Don't listen when everybody else has to say, because when you listening to them, you just running with the pack at that point. I'm a good ass motherfucker. I open my network up to every single person in this YouTube space. I've even heard conversations of people telling me that some of the top content creators have, saluted. They may not have saluted to me personally, but I've heard the talks about saying they got some great shit going over there. Kevin Samuels just popped up into the chat one day. He just popped up into the chat. he would keep popping. I've seen Kevin Samuels run off his shows a few times and come over there. Even the people in the chat would be like, man, you just ended your show early and came over here on Lapeef Network. Because in my opinion, I believe that he liked what he was seeing, what was going on. You got to think about like pre-pandemic, before everything shut down. Who was doing panels? Who was truly doing panels? Co-ed panels. I set the motherfucking tone for all this shit that you see that's going on right now. But people don't fucking realize that fucking shit. Half of you people that's out there, they wouldn't even know you if it wasn't for the Lapeef Network. I don't care about the numbers, but I'm a pioneer in this shit. In some form of fact, I'm a pioneer, and can't nobody take that shit from me. I've sacrificed so much time away from my reality in order to build this empire, and it's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better. You may think I'm quiet, but I'm looking at everything. I'm working, I'm grinding. I don't have time to worry about the bullshit. I let y'all keep that bullshit up. I'm not with it. So, but I just want to say I appreciate everybody, what you guys, the kind words, like I said before, and everything that you guys have done. I'm going to get to these super chats real quick. Ricky, you want to get them?
Talk your shit, big nigga. Let's
Talk
go.
your shit, bro. Talk your shit.
That shit was long overdue, bro.
Facts.
No more Mr. Ice Guy. Why is it that there is nothing a woman can do to prevent a man from cheating on her? But if a woman cheats on a man, it's because of something the man did or wasn't doing for her. No one said that, Mr. Ice Guy. So again, I'm sorry you feel that way. Spencer Campbell, salute to the panel. Appreciate you, big dog. Black Lexicon, multiple sources of happiness is pleasure, but loyalty is a consistent source of happiness you can always rely on. Rick Webster, great French toast panel. Shout out to the Godfather. Nobody, again, he said, I hear you, panel. Humble dad, respect to all of you. Something new is coming on the social media side. Something new. David versus the Goliaths is coming. Keep up the great work. I will connect y'all. Nobody, really, you right. Nobody does care. I'm nobody. Respect to you and all you kings. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, nobody. Congo English, 20 ball. Appreciate you, big dog. Trill AC, concur. Ricky next. Jason C, King Talk is must watch content. Like they said, just keep working. You only fail when you stop. If something doesn't work, adjust and try again. We will always have forces working against us. Congo English again. Concur, brother. Preach. Appreciate you, dog. Congo English again. He got some money. No, just Concord Rilla, love you, brother. Speak from the heart. Congo English again. Concur, Ricky. I must admit, I don't trust us. It's a goddamn shame when you think about it. Rich Mac, JR, review Bill Cosby pound cake speech. And Congo English again, JR, you got me when you broke down your broken sister. You gave me resolution. Your anger gave me resolution.
You talking about the whole sister? Yeah, that was the one. Man, I was serious. That shit had just happened. That's the one Kevin Samuels had brought up. Shout out to the Godfather. But that was some real shit, man. That was some real shit. And I know a lot of people. I didn't realize how many people face situations that's similar to that until they brought that up. Let me see. Make sure we got another super chat. I think that's it. All right, fellas. I know it's been long overdue. I appreciate the extra time. No prisoners, man. I feel bad leaving you down there, man. You got 30 seconds, real quick. I got to get the guys up out of there.
All right, peace to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All
right, peace to you. Peace to you, Rilla. Humble Dad, Trill, Mr. Let Go, King, Ricky. Peace to all of y'all. Hey, I was listening. I really enjoyed the show. I like the things that you just said, JR, on how you started off, and I got nothing but respect for you. And I'm hearing what y'all say. Far as us trusting each other, that's the key. I just think that when we talk about when we're talking about the victimization, and I don't want us to confuse that with reality. I mean, we got to deal with reality as far as our children. I think some of us, when we make it out of the hood. I don't know y'all backgrounds, but I know a lot of y'all brothers, some of y'all probably came from the hood. And when we do better, we get out. And I just don't want us to lose track of it's the people, us in the hood, the people in the hood. When we look at the Martin Luther King era, Malcolm X, even when we go back to Noble Drew Ali and all the other brothers from
Gotta
whatever
keep it
era we come,
brief.
it's the people that get out there and fight, put our lives on the line so we can make it to be able to do the things that we do when we move on. And I think a lot of people sometimes when they make it, they feel like I did this by myself. It wasn't a struggle when we had to fight and die to be able to do the things that we do. So I think it's important that we always keep that alive to the people and to our people, the young people, so they know their history. I think a lot of time we think it's best we
keep it brief.
Okay, I just want to say on the part of making it and how we move forward, I think once we make it out, we obligated to come back and start investing in our own community, invest in our own people. So we can make it, because if we don't all move together, then we really don't make it, because most of the people going to still be in the areas that we consider, like they make us say the ghettos or whatever, and we follow the media when they only paint the negative that go on, but it's a lot of positive that go on in those communities too. Everybody in there is not negative.
Hey,
I
Mr.
just
No
think that we
Prisoner.
got to reach back. Good,
Hey, Mr.
somebody
No
want to say.
Prisoner.
Really?
Mr. No Prisoner, just really quick. I hear that narrative a lot, right? And I think it's unfair because for me, yeah, like currently my residence is South Suburbs, but I'm always in the hood, right?
Right.
My grandma's still same block, same
Keep it
house,
brief, really.
48 years, right? I'm always down at Corliss High School. I'm
Like-
always tapping in with Corey Gilkey from Leaders who hire people that looks like me,
Right.
right?
I respect that too.
His
I got
business,
you, Ricky. I see you, Ricky.
his business is 20 years strong, right? I'm
Right.
always bigging up all the Chicago creators. So here's the truth of the matter: the OGs,
I get it.
the OGs like yourself, all we got to do is show and prove. We don't have to continue to think that other people are not tapping in or coming back. There are people that's not doing that, but it's not like in the numbers that we think, right? We just
hold on, really, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold that thought. Gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. I know y'all got to get up off of here. I'm gonna still stay around and let Chicago Gorilla and Prisoner go ahead and get another 5 minutes in. All right. So salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right.
All right, y'all. Good night.
You too.
Peace, let go.
Peace to you, brother.
All right, go ahead, Real.
No. I was just gonna say, listen, man, I was just at my high school homecoming, right? Because there's very little parent involvement. So what I want to do, instead of focusing on the people that are not showing up, we can give them exhortation and encourage them to come out and show up and invest in all those things. But man, let's shine a spotlight on the cats that are doing something, right? JR, no, man, like when Joe Fresh Goods do something here in the city, man, this dude, he is insane with what he does for Chicago public school systems and these kids here, right? No spotlight on him. Again, Corey Gill, no spotlight on him. All these guys that do something in the community that is actually of substance. When people start talking about all the gun violence that goes on here, well, man, can I spotlight the people that are actually creating jobs and opportunities for these young bloods? So let's focus the spotlight on them. And I agree with you in the sense of, like, yeah, people got to come back, give back, so on and so forth. But man, let's highlight the people that are actually doing it, because it's not like ain't nobody doing it.
Right. I agree with you. And I wasn't even saying that anybody on the panel or that is not being done. I'm just saying when we were talking about solutions, I'm saying that is the solution, that we come back and give our people the opportunity, because we all say and we all hear it. You just give us a foot in and then we kicking in the whole door. But I just don't think that it's highlighted enough. So I agree with you that it's being done, but it's not being highlighted because we're being bombarded with all of the negative. that's going on in the community. It's all about killing, when most of our children ain't out there killing each other. And then let me say this, and it's no way that I'm trying to justify any killing, but some of the killing that go on in our neighborhood might even be necessary. You got people that's out here doing things to kids, and then if they father or somebody step to some of these guys and they come up in the manner that we see, do we feel sorry for that person? You know what I'm saying? So it ain't all just about somebody just killing for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying in no
Well,
way.
we know that's not happening in large numbers, but what I would say, Mr. No Prisoners, is that we got to focus on, again, my solution was, what things can we agree on? What things can we coalesce around? And if it sounded like I was impugning your character and saying that, you know, you
No, I didn't take it that way.
Yeah. I'm just saying, what are the things that we can focus on and what can we coalesce around to build and get better as a community? Because at the end of the day, like Ricky say, it's all gonna fall back on us anyway. All of it's gonna fall back. I'm talking about men as leaders. It's all gonna fall back on us anyway. So I don't have time to sit up here and keep whining and crying about unruly heifers and these black women ain't falling in line. I don't have those issues. My wife is good. She's
there you go.
Right. So what I want to do is get with brothers and the things that we can build on, man, you know, and make for those of us that are in corporate structures, man, I'm trying to figure out how we can make these jokers pay like they weigh. Period. I ain't even thinking about no reparations. I ain't thinking about the government. I ain't thinking about, man, listen, I'm talking about real talk. What can we do? Because this is where we at now. We done talked about this stuff for 2 years. Now, what you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew?
Right. And I hear you, even though I do agree, I do think about the part when we deal with the reparations. I do think that is a legitimate fight. I look at the other people who made it, who made it in America, that came under the same, almost some of the conditions we came in, and how this government gave them stipends for them to raise themselves up. But they want us to think that we in a vacuum or something, that all we got to do is just pick ourselves up, where it's not really that easy to just pick yourself up. I do believe that we got enough money that go through the hands of Black people that we can be self-sustained and take care of ourselves, but it's going to be harder. So, and then when we're not making it, they make us look at it like nobody trying to make it. So I definitely think that we came a long way as a people from where we was, but none of it was because of white America. All of it was in spite of them that we made it, because they never gave us our just dues. And so that keeps it from us making advancement as fast as we could, as fast as some other people did. And they look at that and make it look like we the only people, like I heard Ricky say. I hate when I hear people say everybody else do so good, but we can't do nothing. Well, a lot of them got their hand up and we didn't. So it would look like that we didn't, but all of the people that's getting the hand up and all of the people that's making it, they making it because of our struggle. A lot of people, we fought for things that people taking advantage of today, and we still don't get.
I tell you what, though, just to zero this conversation back in on us, right? We talk about reaching back all the time. People that made it, coming back to the hood, doing what they got to do. But you know what else has to happen? We got to take care of the people who made it. We don't do a good enough job of that. Clearly, you look at a Nipsey Hussle, look at a P&B Rock, you look at a, Tupac. On down the line, we just go down the line. Like whenever somebody makes it and still maintains too close tie to the hood, bad things happen.
That's right.
And we are in control of that, right? So again, it's like I said earlier, I don't like blaming outside sources for things that I feel like I can control. And in this essence, same thing. We can control a lot of this. And that's why people are so hesitant to come back to the hood and help. I'm sure people would love to come back to their block and be able to give money here and do this and have food drives and, coat drives, because these things do happen. But they don't happen often enough because of the paranoia. I remember watching Lil Baby when he came back. He had a coat drive last year. He was giving out coats to kids for school. And he was taking pictures with the kids. And in one of the pictures, he got his hand in his hoodie. And you could see the Glock imprint in his hoodie. at a coat drive for the kids. So until we solve that, people not gonna come back to the hood and help out because I gotta feel my life being taken by my own people. Nipsey got killed in the middle of his own neighborhood by his own gang. It don't get no more give back to the hood than that. Bro was about to buy the whole block and create jobs. He was already creating jobs, felons getting out of jail, gang members that, got records, couldn't get themselves situated. He giving people jobs, handing out money, handing out opportunities left and right. And a nigga killed him for no reason. So when successful people or people who escape make it, and we look at that, where's the incentive to go back? Because we don't take care of each other. And until we start taking care of each other and stop looking at a motherfucker who made it, again, like I said earlier, as an indictment on me, people ain't gonna never come back to the hood and help out as much as we should and as much as what would get us to close this gap between us and other cultures. And we in control of that. We can stare and point fingers at whatever we want to point fingers at. But it wasn't no white man that shot Nipsey. It wasn't no white man.
And we gotta be careful. And we gotta be careful too, because when we doing that, it ain't like we don't have an enemy that don't wanna see us connect, and they can get involved too and cause some of this distinction too, and be the cause of it, and we get the blame for it too. Not saying in that particular incident, but we have to be careful for that too, because we know they're not going to just stand by and just say, "Oh, just let them do." It's just like looking at back in the day when we had the Wall Streets and the different things where we made it, as they like to say, pulling yourself up by your bootstrap. But a lot was done to keep that from spreading even further.
You're talking about Black Wall Street and Rosewood, but what I was saying,
how people didn't want to see us making it, even though a lot of us was doing it for ourselves.
OG, we way past that era now.
I'm just saying we got to be careful, but we might be past that era, but it ain't like America's past that era.
No, listen, OG, honestly and respectfully,
we gotta start wrapping it up, yo.
Yep, the era that we in right now, we not even in a race war like that. It's classism now. And Trill, what I was gonna say, honestly, I don't know if you know this, but when we was in Atlanta this past August, bro, Lil Baby did he shut West End Mall down, bro. He did a back to school thing. I was trying to take wifey over there to see a couple things. We was gonna grab a couple things out of West End. Man, we couldn't even make it through, bro. It was like freak nigga all over again. I'm talking about with the traffic, bro. The traffic. They blocked everything off. It was like a backpack giveaway. He was giving away sneakers, the whole nine.
And it all went good?
Oh, yeah. No, that went off with no incident. But I think to Trill's point, is the fact that he had to hold weight on him while he was in the hood. But here's the other thing. I know for a fact that there are celebrities. I know this for a fact. There are celebrities in Chicago that give back and they funnel their money through certain organizations and they just say, this is your deal. This is what you do. Do what you're going to do with it. Don't mention my name. They don't even want their name mentioned with it. They don't want, and it's for a number of reasons. They don't even want to be seen with it, right? So we know that, a lot of times when celebrities do these charity events or whatever, it's for visibility and, to make their name good. But I'm just saying, for anybody that is concerned about coming back to the hood, because it ain't got to just be, a celebrity that's doing that. Like anybody could say, JR could say, hey man, I'm finna donate 5,000 wow. You know what I'm saying, to the Trill Foundation or to Ricky Williams boxing or whatever, man. Do what y'all do to help the kids get off the streets, and boom, you know what I'm saying, we'll have everything but behind the scenes, but I don't want to be the face of it. I don't even want to be seen with it. So we just gotta, this is my thing, and I'll end with this. We just gotta get together on one thing that we can agree on. I don't have to agree with none of y'all niggas on everything, just one thing. And can we build around one thing? That's it. Let's figure out the one thing and let's build around that.
All right, no prisoners about to rate it. I can't do it.
I'll just close saying I just think that it's that time, and I agree with you, and I do see that happening, and that's where we need to go. And then even with the system, I think we have to take control of our own destinies as Black men, especially. Thanks for the time, JR, and peace to all y'all brothers, man.
I mean to rush you, man, but guys.
No problem. It's no problem, brother. I appreciate the time.
All right, real quick. Construct Icon, shout out to you. Salute JR, the panel, and the Lapeef Network, 199. King, Kamate, 999. Lapeef is truly upstanding, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to the Lapeef Experience. Did that one already. Got no more. So you guys gonna answer that was that question. Did we have an answer? We didn't answer it, but we'll get to it next time.
We'll do it next week, JR.
Yeah. Hey, really do me a favor, screenshot that for me. Snap a photo of it. Never, I could always put it back on the replay. Never mind. I'm tweaking. It's too late. Construct that icon again. We need to highlight the positive so we can inspire the behavior. All right, that's all the super chats. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thanks, gentlemen, for the extra time again. I appreciate it. All right. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support, you guys. Thank you for standing the storm tonight.
Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. All my eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Gil, the run around, high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil, the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. Being me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bringin' condoms to me. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
Appreciate all the support, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play this one last track. I'm gonna slow it down for all you folks that's out there right now. Again, thank you guys for all the support you give, and hit that like button on your way out. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and shout out to the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network. I see you, really. This is the last track. Shout out to all my truck drivers out there, all my first responders, all my people that's on third shift right now. Shout out to everybody in the factories that's out there getting it right now. Union life. I see you, Construct Icon. Appreciate everything, brother. Malevolent Elephant, appreciate you, sir. Hit that like button, fam. Hit that like button. You're still rocking out with me. Just want to say thank you on behalf of the Lapeef Network. Salute to you guys for all the constant support. Without you guys, we'll not be where we are. By the way, if I haven't mentioned this already, this is the last track. I'm going to go ahead and shut up so y'all can enjoy it.
Nope.
It's the last track. last track, y'all. It's the last track. No cap, it's the last track, y'all. Appreciate all the support. Hit that like button if you haven't already.